It's January 13th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. A wonderful Monday, marvelous Monday to you all. Hopefully, it's a good start to your week. But coming off of a busy weekend, Jeremy Lambert is here. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm well. Was it a busy weekend? There was stuff happening, but
there was stuff
it
happening.
A busy weekend? Yeah.
Well, it depends. It depends what you were up to. I mean, how was your weekend? Was it busy? What were you up to?
I went sledding on Saturday, Joel. Actually got out of the house, touched some snow because there's no grass to touch. It's all snow on the ground here. I went sledding this weekend. Very fun time on the sled.
Did you ever have the GT Racer? Remember that thing when we were little kids? Did you ever have
a
sled?
I felt like that's one of the sleds. I was, what are they called? The Flyer, the Red Flyer or something?
Oh, those like the ones that were made of nothing and you would go flying and break your neck?
No, it's like red metal railings and then like the wood, gotcha. But it's not real wood, whatever synthetic wood is on it. Yeah, I use one of those, and then we just have like the hard plastic ones, which also go very fast. We had a nice little hill near our house that we went down. So it was a lot of fun on Saturday, and then I watched a bunch of wrestling on Saturday night.
Yeah, there was a lot of wrestling on this weekend, wasn't there?
Yeah, Saturday night was extremely busy. We had Collision, we had New Japan, and we had MLW all going on.
Yeah, our pal Cam Hawkins was there.
He was at MLW. Yes, get an interview with Abe Lincoln. Good for him.
Good for him. 25 billion years ago. He got the scoop. I got to give it to Cam. He got the scoop. It was a busy weekend. I didn't go sledding, but I did go to the hospispittal, so that was fun for me.
Did you get hit with a fridge door?
No, but it does involve my kid, because of course it does. Everyone's okay. That's why I'm laughing. And it was really more of a checkup, not checkup, but it was more just a making sure. So Saturday morning, he's playing with a bunch of friends, and the carpet that they were on, it was like a play group, and then they roll up the carpet, and then they were kind of doing a balance beam type of thing across this rolled up carpet. Well, the kid was doing the balance beam roll, and then he fell, and he basically just kind of landed awkwardly on his foot, and then he refused to put any weight on it. Keep in mind, my kid's 2.5. He'll be 3, in a few months. So we were like, okay, this is new. He doesn't ever have situations where he doesn't want to put weight on his foot, but like he was refusing to. So we thought, oh crap, I hope it's not a break or anything like that. So we decided we'd go. We forewent the nap, which is always fun, let me tell you. And we went to the hospital. We waited, what was it, an hour and a half in the triage area just to get getting a number and waiting just to get checked in. And then we were in and out after that in about 45 minutes, because that's what happens. The kid's okay. They checked his foot. They did an x-ray. He's perfectly fine. He was just more, well, I know it's true. I got a fridge door ready for him. But anyway, he's fine. He just had he took a tumble. He took a tumble, and he needs to learn to put the weight on it, because that will help him feel better.
Learn how to bump.
He needs to learn how to bump. He's a soft kid, let me tell you.
What wrestling schools they got up there? What school can you send them to so we can learn how to bump?
Super Kicked is pretty much the only one I can think of. Oh, and Santino's school. I'm not sending him there.
Oh, okay. You gotta teach them, get them in there, let them learn how to bump, learn how to fall. Tuck your chin, kid.
Tuck your chin. He didn't learn this time, but it was fine. You know what? Like I said, he's perfectly fine. Today, he's like, we're tricking him to put any weight on his foot.
Tricking him.
Yeah, because we were like faking, we're going to race to your room, because when he gets ready for nighttime, he gets dressed, or he gets changed in our bedroom. He does his bath in our bedroom, because we have the bathtub in our room. You've been to our house. You're familiar with it. But after that, we'll get him into his jammies in our room, and then we'll have him go clear across the other side of the apartment so that he can go to his room. So we were like, well, race daddy. So I'm going really slow, obviously pretending, and he starts going, and I was like, got him. I was going slow.
Why? You gotta like push him over, let him learn.
Well, we do that later. That's later.
Kids wanted to play Bluey Monopoly with me. Bluey, I'm past 5 minutes. Complete asshole.
Your favorites. I know you love Bluey, and shout out to that one guy who's complete and utter like end to watching our show was your feelings towards Bluey.
Really? I
Did I
think
not tell you about this?
Yeah. I don't pay attention.
Believe me, there have been other comments made by other people on our channel that I've also been like, what are we doing here? Anyway, Bluey.
Whatever. Anyway, we played Bluey Monopoly. The kids, like, they always expect to just like win this stuff. Like, absolutely not. I'm not gonna let you win at Bluey Monopoly. Bluey Monopoly is actually like really fun because it doesn't take 5 years to play. So I actually enjoy playing it. I dominated it this weekend though. They wanted to play. I was like, yeah, as long as you want to lose. I walked into the room. They were setting up the Bluey Monopoly. I was smoking my cigar, and I said, "Who's coming in second?" And then we started to play, and then they came in second. All of them combined. I came in first.
Which character were you?
Whatever the dad is. Bingo? Bandit?
No, Bandit. Bandit's
I don't know.
The Bluey's baby sister is Bingo.
Sure, I know there's like a bingo. Mom. Dad. That's all I know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you that part. I assume that's part of the TV show.
That's the intro. That's the intro. That's a theme song, right?
My kid has seen like 3 episodes of Bluey. This is the problem with having Bluey. Okay, this is now a parenting podcast. So
sure.
My son and all of his friends were turning 2. The loot bags were full of Bluey things. And we're like, we don't watch this shit. What are we doing? And then the kid's like, I love Bluey. And I'm like, I'm going to strangle somebody.
Kicked that kid.
I should have. I was very upset. Now it's Paw Patrol. Let me tell you, I am not happy.
Paw Patrol, Paw Patrol. That's the only thing I know. That's a theme song, right? Isn't that like
they
repeat it over and over again?
Yeah. Oh, Senior Nerd knows all about the lore. Apparently, the woman who voices Chili, Bluey's mom, is quite the looker.
Oh, okay.
Let's look this up.
What? Are you gonna Google Bluey's mom?
Chili.
Is that the name of the mom? Chili?
Yeah, Chili.
Oh, okay.
Melanie Zanetti.
All right.
She is a beautiful Australian woman.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
She grew up with 5 siblings.
So
that's nothing compared to the 12 kids I know, but
yeah,
still.
Big deal.
I didn't have that growing up. I was the youngest of 3.
I was an only child, so
lucky you.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, cool. She doesn't have an age. Good for her. She is ageless. Bluey's mom has got it going on. She's all anyway.
That sound no. We can't say like Bluey's mom because that implies like the character Chili.
Oh dear. The woman who plays Bluey's mom on TV as a voice actress has got.
There we go. Yeah, it doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but
not as much.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the weekend was mostly just spent catching up on some wrestling and making sure my kid could walk on his 2 feet. Spoiler alert: he's still trying. Speaking of trying to get y'all to leave a thumbs up on the video. Have you done it yet? Get that going. Have you left your thumbs up? Have you left the like on the video? Has it flashed upon your screen yet? Have you subscribed to the channel? Has that little button just flashed before your eyes? If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel here at Fightful Overbooked. We have plenty of content coming at you daily. And of course, you can donate a super chat any amount. Get your question or statement read on the air. We already have one. We'll get to it in a little bit because I'm not done talking about parenting. No, I'm just kidding. I'm done talking about parenting. Is there where should we start? There's a lot we can get to. I don't want to start with the thumbnail just yet.
Why?
Because I like to let people trickle in and find us by usually the 45-minute mark is when I'll do the thumbnail talk. Unless we get really derailed and our show is a 4-hour episode, and then we only talk about it for 20 minutes when we get to the 3.5-hour mark.
Yeah, but I mean, we got a super chat. I feel like we should just go ahead and
our super chats can cut. No. You've watched Grab City. They just kind of wrangle them and then get to them when they want to get to them. We could do that too. It's our show, Jeremy. Our super chat here, and plus the person who sent the super chat, Matthew Hooks. He's here the whole time. He lives here. He lives on this channel.
Okay. All right. Fine. Yeah, I agree with Henry. Joel wants more people to get in here and hate on AEW. Ryan is saying start with the challenge finale episode 1. I know Joel doesn't watch that.
That's tomorrow.
Myself, SP3, and our pal Share Delaware have a lot to say about that episodes. It was a 2-part finale. But man, we were talking a lot about it in our group chat. That's tomorrow on FMC, 10 o'clock.
Had to reply to your illustrious wife. She's giving me advice. See, look at this. Matthew Hooks, he gets it. We get to it when we get the chance.
What if we never have the chance?
What if we never get to it?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that.
The football wasn't great this weekend, Grays. Last night's game was good. Like the Commanders, not the wrestler. He always loses, unless it's ROH television. The Commanders against the Buccaneers. That was a good game, but the rest of the games were not all that enthralling.
Hey, by the way, check out Grays on Twitch over at twitch.tv/Grays streams. I'm giving you a free plug because A, I like you, and B, because I know you're doing some football content along with the wrestling. So go check out our pal Grace. If you don't, then you don't like Twitch.
Okay.
Is that the answer? I feel like that's the answer.
Sure.
I feel like that's all I got. Shall we talk about SmackDown? Because that happened on Friday.
Man, these 3-hour shows are going to be the death of me
already. They are not. I can't do these 3 hours SmackDown gigs.
Yeah, they got to figure out the pacing on these things. I think the problem with it is they spent so many years just telling you SmackDown was all about Roman Reigns that when Roman Reigns doesn't show up, the shows just they ain't got much happening on them. Like it feels like you can condense this stuff into 2 hours. Like it got to 9:15. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is still over half of this show's not even halfway done yet. What are we doing with this? Yeah, it's a drag. Like so far these first 2 episodes, it's been a drag. I hope when they do the draft, which I assume is after WrestleMania, which is way too far away, I hope that they figured out, because again, I'll continue to say I thought that the 3-hour Raws were good. I thought that they figured out the pacing. They had enough talent. They had enough star power that it didn't feel like so much was bogged down. They had time to let things breathe. But SmackDown just doesn't feel like that. You know, the Cody and Kevin stuff is good, but it's such a small part of the show. And the rest of the show, they haven't done enough over the past few years. And they told you for so long, the only stuff that matters is Roman Reigns, that if it's not Roman Reigns centric, doesn't feel like a whole lot matters right now.
Yeah, it's been one of the problems with SmackDown is it's been very singular story based. And listen, like they're trying in certain ways to give you a little bit more. I get the women's division, they just kind of they blew it open with the Tiffany Stratton cash in, and now they're making that, they've made that the focal point of SmackDown, or at least one of them. Cody's been trying to keep up being that guy in place of Roman. They still do bloodline stuff because of course they will. And then other than that, maybe there's like an LA Knight thing, but now LA Knights is working with the bloodline story as well. So it's tough. I could deal without another Michin Chelsea Green match, although if the reporting was accurate, and looks like we might have one more in the pocket in a couple of weeks at Saturday night's main event, or maybe that was just them blowing it off now, but who knows? I doubt it. I agree with you. The one thing about Raw towards the end of the 3 hours, when they were doing 3 hours, was that they had established a pace. They had figured out how to stretch out those 3 hours and make it for most of the show an enjoyable watch. And then before that, like they had spent so many years just not there. Like 3 hour Raws were dragging. It was a 2 hour Raw with an extra hour tacked on that you could skip. But like you said, towards the end, it was better. This definitely needs an adjustment when it comes to not just the star power, but also just the interest, because otherwise it's the same kind of 2-3 stories happening over and over again. Tag division, they were trying to give at least a little bit more, but at the same time, everyone in the tag division looks stupid because they're running this whodunit angle, and the only person who's like telling them what's happening is not actually in a tag team, and he's just walking around being like, I saw it. Y'all are dumb. But I saw it, and they're just like, what do you mean you saw it? It's like, it's an open space. I saw it. You're dumb. And then that's just how it goes. So I'm hopeful that they find a way to make that third hour of SmackDown work. But because this is only going until June, allegedly, reportedly, they might just find their way, and then by May we'll be like, oh, well, that sucks. They figured it out. So I don't know what to expect other than right now, not great.
I thought the Motor City Machine Guns A-Town Down Under match was good, and like it's two teams that A-Town Down Under, they've been beaten a lot, and sure, Motor City Machine Guns, they came in with, you know, in our bubble, a lot of fanfare, but not super well known to the live crowd, and the reactions were kind of hit and miss, but the work is always going to be there with them. So I think being able to give a team like Motor City Machine Guns time is a good thing. I thought they actually could have done more with this match, and like Garza and Pretty Deadly, Los Garza and Pretty Deadly, that's a match that probably isn't happening on a 2-hour SmackDown. There's probably not going to have that match. Like they worked hard. The match wasn't bad, but it's two teams that there's not a whole lot of equity into Los Garza, and Pretty Deadly is just they're played for comedy, and they're very good at it. The backstage segment with Gargano and Ciampa I thought was good. You know, Gargano acting like forgetting their names, which I don't know if he actually did. He just mistakenly called them Kip, and you know, they just picked up on that and they ran with it. Like, I thought it was good, whether it was a mistake or not. Like they did a good job of picking up the ball, or if that was, you know, the scripted line, they played it very well. But being able to give Motor City Machine Guns like more time to get over based on their in-ring work, I do think is a benefit for a 3-hour show. I do think a couple months from now, maybe we'll look back and be like, yeah, you know, having 3 hours was a benefit for everybody because they got more time to tell stories backstage, in the ring, whatever it might be. But just right now, because they've only had 2 hours, stuff hasn't been able to get over to a bigger extent that it was on Raw. And so it just feels like it's just dragging for that second half hour, or that second half of the show.
Yeah, because I've made the joke before and I kind of continue with it. It's a 2-hour show that you can pick up the third hour when you wake up the next morning. I haven't found a reason to watch the full 3 hours in one sitting for SmackDown. I think it was, Matthew Hooks had mentioned in the, it was Henry. They have the talent, but they don't showcase them yet. So now that they're just throwing them on screen, no one reacts. And I'm largely paraphrasing, but that is exactly how it feels. They're putting some talent out there that are not regularly featured. And as a result, people are like, who is this guy? Because if you're watching at home every week or every other week, and you don't see these people, you don't necessarily know how to react to them. That's usually a strength that WWE possesses, is knowing who to feature every week for a reason, and they haven't given us that for a few different people. They're not fully merged into traffic yet.
Yeah, well, we'll see months from now what comes of the 3-hour SmackDown. But for right now, it's first 2 episodes been kind of a miss for me.
Yeah, me too. I'm going through it, and you know what? I said it. The women's division is getting the renewed attention. I see in the chat, Big Man Dogs mentioning you talking about Paul Heyman and the attention to women as equal to the men, and giving them similar stories to the men, and not just giving them the typical bra and panty or sex storylines, and letting the women show off the acting skills that they have in different ways, shapes, and forms. And like, yeah, that's kind of what storytelling becomes, is that this is what wrestling has been. We have neglected this group of wrestlers long enough that we are now going to spend the time building them up and making them interesting by giving them the stories for the people we've already been, you've already seen. So now it's the interest now becomes, these are the same stories, but with new characters. So that's always felt to me like what was next when it came to women's wrestling was a renewed interest, talking about the same stuff that the Bloodline did. Don't know who the women's Bloodline is, but my point being, it would make sense that Paul Heyman would pitch something like that. They're doing something with Tiffany Stratton. She's won the championship. She tried to explain herself. She's not a babyface or a heel yet. We're kind of still in between, but Bayley is going to be her first challenger next week on SmackDown. She won a really good fatal 4-way. That was kind of like, to me, the highlight of the show was seeing that women's division kind of continue to flourish and figure out their ways. What are your thoughts knowing Bayley's the first one up and the way Tiffany kind of presented herself and Nia called her a little shit?
Bayley makes sense as the first challenger. Bayley's someone you can always go to, who has equity with the fans, who works a smart match and it gets her opponent over. Like, you can never go wrong putting Bayley in this position of we need someone who is reliable to accomplish what we want to accomplish. And what they want to accomplish is, I know Tiffany tried to play the middle a little bit because she had to explain why she did what she did, which got a giant babyface reaction, but she's more of a heel. Well, if you want her to really be a heel, going against Bayley is the way to do it, because Bayley is always going to work to an opponent's strength, and Bayley is going to know, okay, I need to get this person over a heel. Great. Here's how I'm going to work. Here's how you're going to work. Let's go out there and let's get you over as a heel. The 4-way match was good. And this is the benefit of a 3-hour show, is you can do a longer match like this, and you can put 2 women's matches on the show. Like, Michin and Chelsea Green was what it was. And, it was a quick little rematch. Maybe they do it again at Saturday night's main event. They did the backstage segment with B-Fab before the show, so I don't know if B-Fab is going to get a shot at Chelsea Green. B-Fab hasn't been on the show since she had the good showing in the tournament, in the triple threat tournament match. So, like, this is the benefit of a 3-hour show, is you can get more people featured. And they did a good job of focusing and featuring. Somebody in the chat mentioned, the tag division and the women's division. Yeah, they're allowed to do a little bit more with those 2 divisions with the extra time. And they, on this episode, they certainly, tried to highlight that a little bit more. As far as Bayley and Tiffany Stratton, that's a good first title defense for Tiffany. I was surprised. This is, again, a 3-hour show. They do the big segment where Tiffany kind of lays everybody out, and then all this comes out is like, we're going to crown number 1 contender right now. And I'm like, oh, it felt like that would have been a next week thing, but they had 3 hours. So they're like, here, we can give y'all I think the match went like nearly 20 minutes. Like, we can give y'all a 20-minute match on this show because we got 3 hours to fill. So I thought, this was a strength of the show. This was a highlight of the show.
Very much a big fan of Wade Barrett being like, oh, it's a good thing those 4 women are wearing the gear, Tess. And Tessitore's just like, yeah, that's great. Yeah, you know what? It's good that you can give them a 20-minute match. It's good that you can give a lot of time to those who can work a solid match, the time to do it. So this is the one thing that like a 3-hour SmackDown can give you. But again, you can still give us work rate. You can still give us the cinema, if you will, but you have to also have compelling characters behind them. I would argue that a lot of the women's division in that segment with Tiffany surrounding them have gotten a lot of opportunities to have more fleshed out characters as a result of their story. You've got Nia, who has been, fantastic ever since she came back. She really picked it up and has had a great showing. All the way down to, I'm giving Candice LeRae the lowest on the totem pole because she is just the latest to be featured in a more prominent direction of like all the women on the show. Even she's getting something out of this. And I like that she's getting involved. Like, she pulled Bianca Belair's hair towards the end of that 4-way. Like, she has involvement in these matches. And as a result, like, you're getting more of an idea of what her story is. Does it suck that, she lost a tag team partner along the way? Yeah, but they're clearly investing in what Candice LeRae can do. And that's what you need. Again, invest in those characters. And then maybe those 3-hour SmackDowns won't feel as poorly paced. You just have to figure out how you're telling the story with them and how you are explaining the matches and why they're happening. We'll get there. I think we'll get there. But again, if it's only going until June, they might just be like, all right, let's just get through this slog.
I think they have expectation that is going to continue. Otherwise, why do it? Why even have this little period? It's obviously going to depend on the ratings, right? Like, if the numbers are good, then USA will be like, hey, this makes sense for us. This makes sense for y'all. we don't have Raw anymore. We don't have NXT. Like, let's go ahead and let's give you the extra hour. The numbers are good. Not having to go, I don't think like Rampage in its current state was going to really mean anything to the third hour of WWE, but not having that certainly doesn't put any type of a divide. I feel like it's going to continue. Honestly, I do. And they had the talent to make it continue. It's just they gotta reestablish a lot of people or heat up a lot of people to where these third hours just don't feel like by 9:15. It's like, all right, really? We're not even halfway through this show. And that's gonna take a little bit of time, but we'll see if they get there. But my expectation is it's gonna continue, honestly.
I would expect it to continue. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like they'll get to June and it could easily be they'll take 2 months off and then after SummerSlam be like, SmackDown goes back to 3 hours starting, August, whatever, after SummerSlam. Or they might just wait until the new year and be like, we're officially staying at 3 hours. This is what the deal is. And that's it. Get ready. I don't necessarily see it as early as then, but stranger things have happened. Like going to August and being like, we're going to go back to 3 hours after giving you 6 months of 3 hours and then 2 months of 2 hours. I don't think they're going to slingshot back and forth. I think they'll either stick to one or stick to the other. But like you said, it will come down to ratings. And it also will come down to like how much ad revenue is coming in. What's working, what's not. This is clearly something that WWE would want. Creatively is another question, but it's something from a business standpoint that you'd want, because like Nick Khan has said, if we could make it 4 hours, we'd make it 4 hours for our revenue. But if the creative is not there, then people aren't tuning in, and therefore it's all cyclical. But again, the reporting had been June, and then after that, play it by ear. See what works and see what doesn't. I think I'm on the same page as you, where it looks like they'll stick with 3. I just don't know when they'll make a final announcement that we're doing 3-hour SmackDowns moving forward.
The talent is there to do 3 hours. And there, someone mentioned that Gray's mentioned they're going to get Charlotte back. They're going to get Becky back. They got talent coming in. We'll talk about Penta a little bit later on, but he's likely going to debut tonight. John Cena is going to work some SmackDown shows. Like they're not hurting for talent on these shows. I think the biggest issue right now with SmackDown is they spent so many years telling you this is Roman's show. Even when it was a 2-hour show, when Roman wasn't on those shows felt like a drag. Because you haven't really put enough behind anybody else to where I care about this show if Roman's on here. And now that's where we're at with a 3-hour show, is they have not put enough behind anybody else to where I care if Roman is not there. They've heated some people up, but the bigger issue is they put so much into the Roman Reigns basket that it kind of took away from everybody else. And now with a 3-hour show, you're seeing the downside of that. And now they've got to work to get it back up.
Yeah, but now Solo comes back next week. I love that Solo returns is the new Roman comes to SmackDown.
They are not the same. They are not the same, guys.
But it's very funny to watch that graphic and be like, I know what you're doing. It's, one of the bigger moments from SmackDown was the announcement that we're going to have Roman Reigns join the Royal Rumble. First time in, 5 years?
2020 was the last time, yeah.
Yeah, 5 years since Roman Reigns has been in the Rumble. He's either been a champion or not around. So this is a good little...
He's just been the champion. Hasn't been not around.
He doesn't like to work the Rumble. He hates the Rumble.
What the hell are you doing, Joel?
Just hates the Royal Rumble.
Don't do this. He's been the champion every single time for the past 5 years. 2020, he was in the Rumble. 2021, champion, defended the title. 2022, champion, defended the title. 2023, champion, defended the title. 2024, champion, defended the title.
Yeah, but he's not defending it in the Royal Rumble. So what are we really doing here? Hates it. Hates that Royal Rumble.
Disparage the name of Roman Reigns. He was the champ going into all of these Rumbles except 2020, which is the last time he worked the Rumble.
And he could have worked it as the champion too, because that year the champion worked the Royal Rumble as well. What are we doing?
What year?
2020. Brock was champion. Brock said, I'm going to join the Royal Rumble, and if I win, nobody's going to challenge me at WrestleMania.
Was that the bit?
That was the bit, and then Drew kicked him in the face, and that's how we
Right.
got to Drew and Brock.
Okay.
That was like one of the more entertaining Rumbles, because that was the first half Brock dominates, second half Drew comes in and ends that. That was like, honestly, it was a pretty good Rumble. But anyway, yeah, Roman Reigns going to join the Rumble, first time 5 years. So I didn't get to talk about this on Friday because we were talking about a billion other things. WWE sent out a little something to people who were going to be interested in the show at Rogers Center, the Elimination Chamber. I gotta find it. There we go. So this was what they sent out. Is it gonna pop up? It's not. What are we doing? There we go. John Cena, the last time is now. Experience John Cena's final Elimination Chamber ever. Witness John Cena as he enters the Elimination Chamber for his last time ever. This is the priority pass email that was sent out. Yes, card subject to change. But man, I don't think you could put out John Cena enters the Elimination Chamber for the last time. Unless he's putting a shot on the line if he wins the Rumble.
You can 100% put that out there and then just be card subject to change. Like,
yeah, people are spending $10,000 to go to that show.
They can do card subject to change. Like, I do think he'll be in the Elimination Chamber match, but I'm not gonna put my stock into, they sent out some press pass nonsense and this confirms he's going to be part of the Elimination Chamber match.
I think he's in the Elimination Chamber match. I don't think he's
I do too, but I'm not gonna take this as the reason why.
So again, yes, the event is called Elimination Chamber, but the verbiage on the email says he steps inside the Elimination Chamber for the last time.
Yeah, the verbiage on the email does make it seem like he's going to be in the Elimination Chamber match. But again, I'm not taking this as some gospel until they actually get there, until that's decided. They certainly want you to believe that. And I do think he's going to be in the Elimination Chamber match, but let's not pretend like they just don't change shit.
They do, but I also think that it's weird that they would put it out there as he steps in the Elimination Chamber, not he's going to be at the show.
Why? Why do you think that's weird? You think it's weird that they're just going to advertise shit and then not deliver on it?
Yeah, because they haven't really been doing a lot of that since Vince left, to be honest.
Okay.
They've been pretty good. Remember, the longest time was, we're going to do this dark match, and then they would change it at the last second. They would promote it up until the time of the show, and then it would just change on a dime. I'm not saying that it's the same thing, but I've seen WWE take a better stance at when they put something out there, they are going to deliver on it. Yes, card subject to change, but in this case, someone who puts out an email like that needs to be talked to about using that kind of verbiage, because you're basically now telling me John Cena is potentially is going in the Elimination Chamber.
I agreed, but they literally did this last week where they advertised Rhea and Liv as the last woman standing, and they announced it on one of their shows, and then all of a sudden they pulled it because they're like, oh, never mind. We never we have literally a week ago example of them doing something like this.
Yeah, we do. But also, this has went out to quite a lot of people too. No one's watching Main Event. Who's watching?
But it was still all online and everything.
It was online because people took screen caps, damn it.
But what is this? This is online. They're being sent to people.
This is my email. It came from my email directly. What are we doing?
More people watch Main Event than have access to your email.
Well, more people should have access to my email. Then they could hear all about
your email.
No.
Well, if you want more people to have access to it, then just give it out.
No. Joel at thejoelpearl. Go fuck yourself. I just think that putting in the Elimination Chamber makes it sound like
I agree with you.
It's not great.
I 100% agree with you. I'm also saying don't take this as they are 100% John Cena is going to be in the Elimination Chamber match. And I do think like he is going to be in the Elimination Chamber match. That's just me theorizing based on what I think they're going to do with John Cena this year. I'm not going to take this email as any type of confirmation. That's all.
But priority pass, $20,000, and you can buy a ticket and get a seat. Take the ride.
Do you think people are going to like ask for a refund if John Cena is not in the Elimination Chamber match? It's like right here. It says he was going to be in the match. I paid $20,000 for these tickets. I would like a refund. And then they're just going to point to, well, card subject exchange, dummy. Thanks for the money.
I think it'd be funny if they're just like, wow, you really did spend $20,000. Tell you what, after the show, after the press conference, once everyone's gone, we'll lower the chamber. John Cena will do his entrance, get into the chamber just for you, take 3 flat back bumps, win a match against the champion of your choosing, and that will be the show. $20,000. It's a good amount of money to spend to get that type of treatment. That's White Glove.
$20,000 is a lot of money.
John Cena will pin you in the middle of Elimination Chamber.
Why did I say $20,000?
It goes pretty high. The priority pass, they can do like 10,000 for sure.
And if you're spending that much on,
I'm pulling up the priority pass.
Like,
bless. There is the elite one won't tell you, but that is the highest one. That says connect with our team. That's how you know it's expensive. The elite one, which by the way has Cody Rhodes on it, which is hilarious that the elite priority pass has Cody on it. Premium row 1 seating, ringside photo op at Elimination Chamber, an elite welcome event, TV production truck tour experience. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. I'm all up with that. Exclusive backstage experience, post-show press conference access, and desk photo op. Let me tell you about that experience last time I was there. Pre-show all-inclusive hospitality with Sami Zayn and Natalya. Sami Zayn's not going to be in the Elimination Chamber. I'm sorry, folks.
That probably is a lot of money. That probably is like $10,000 bucks.
Plus exclusive Elimination Chamber gifting, official Elimination Chamber ring mat plaque, expedited entry at dedicated priority pass entrance.
Into the Rumble? Oh.
No, that'd be funny. And elite concierge services. So there's the silver, gold, and champion, and then suite by the seat, which is sold out, and then there's the elite. The elite one's the most expensive. Champion is the most expensive non-suite ticket. Those are still available. They're $4,000 per person.
Yeah, that elite thing's got to be every bit of like 7,000,
7,500 maybe.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's a lot of money. And it seems like you get a good experience with it. Like, I would never spend that much money on that thing. But
who who knows about it? Believe it or not, is Zarian. Not because he's paid, but because he and I know some of the people who do that from they're called On Location. They were the people who did it. And then the guy who's been there, Billy, for the longest time, he's been doing this forever, and like he'll tell you all about it because he loves this shit. I appreciate anyone who like loves their job to that point. This man loves his job. He'll tell you all about it.
Good. I appreciate people who love their job.
Call Jimmy and see if he'll get me on the high tier package. Jimmy will just be like, why don't you apply as press? I'll be like, because your boy's going to be there as the press.
That's no fun. It's way more fun if we can just spend $7,500 on, dinner and a movie with Natalya and Sami Zayn.
Brother, the TV truck experience is only for the elite gimmick. You don't get that with any of them.
You think they have like, and this is the camera cut button. It's like the Kevin Dunn button. It's just labeled KD, and everyone knows what it means. Oh, that means camera cut. You get to direct the Elimination Chamber match. Could you imagine? And in the back is our Elimination Chamber On Location correspondent, Joel. Joel, are you ready to cut this match? You bet. Cut. Fade to black. Show's over. So many camera cuts on that thing. Just every single time I would cut to something else. Would rule. I'd shoot off pyro in the middle of the match too. Just like, screw it. Just hit the pyro button. See what happens.
Believe it or not, the pyro button is in-house, not at the back.
That's lame. I'd, coordinate with somebody then.
Kind of a safety thing to have it. You're in the truck in another part of the entire building. You're not even in the building. You're in a truck outside. And meanwhile, you're just fire in the hole. No one can see what you're doing. You're just
Did I get into like the music? I just hit like random people's music and see if they would come out. You know,
CM Punk's in the back having a tuna sandwich.
I
Oh
was
shit!
like, why's my music playing?
Oh, it's like Pavlov's dog. They all just get up and go.
That's what I would do. I just see
great. Sean saying you press the Elimination Chamber countdown clock button. You get to do the 10-second countdown.
you get to lower the cage from the production truck, or is that like
that's in-house?
Yeah.
That's because there's a big winch and a safety thing.
Yeah,
no, you get to do the whoop, 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 whoop. It's just you and a microphone. Whoop, 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 whoop.
You know what I would actually do? You know what I would do? I would play Triple H's theme and just piss him off, because then he's got to like put down the headset. He's gonna be like, oh, fuck, they're calling me out again. Fuck. I don't want to be on camera, but my music is playing. Okay, everybody. Let me go out to the front of the arena. Let me go to the ring. Let me say nice things about the company. They're playing my music. What do you want me to do, everybody? Who in the truck hit my music? Come on. Jeremy hit my music. Who is Jeremy? Who? Why is he hitting my music randomly? Fine, let me go to the ring. Oh,
wait. You're telling me he paid how much to be here? He paid how much to do that? All right, I guess I should go out there. I'll give him a good thanks. Are you ready, Jeremy?
That's what I'd do. I'd force him on camera, since he would hate it so much if he was on camera.
He just wants to be a BTS guy. He's a big K-pop fan, that Triple H. Oh yeah, that'd be great. Just start playing random ass music, see what happens. Why are they playing the coming soon music? The wait, you know, the starting soon music that they've been playing before the press conference.
I've learned to tune that out. Remember AEW had that. I just learned to tune that out so much.
We have it too, Jeremy. Did you forget?
Do you want to play it?
I do. I gotta find it first. Where is this background music? This is literally all it was. It's some NWO filled shit.
I learned to tune this out.
That's Eric Bischoff's MLW theme.
I would play Real American just to get the crowd pissed off.
Just to boo. Why would they come to our concert just to boo us? It's the second episode in a row I've been able to use that one.
Just to see like what the reaction would be. I just hit that button. Be like, all right, let's see what kind of reaction we're gonna get tonight. Hogan, just get Hogan booed when he's not even there. Hogan just watching at the TV. They say fuck me for it, because you're a racist piece of shit. You suck.
I want to see if I can find the WrestleMania stuff. WrestleMania.
Dun, 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 and then I goes.
That's how it goes. Okay, here we go. The Undertaker Suite by the Seats. 2-night tickets and suite access.
You get to hang out with Undertaker's dong.
Yes, you do. And other things. How much do you think that is per person?
What is it? Undertaker Suite by the Seat?
You get 2-night tickets and suite access.
2-night tickets? What do you mean two? It's only a one-night event.
It's WrestleMania. We're talking WrestleMania.
Oh, WrestleMania.
Yeah, we went to WrestleMania for a minute.
Okay. So you get tickets to both nights of WrestleMania and suite access.
Should I give you the whole list and then you can tell me how much you think it is?
Yeah, you get to hang out with the Undertaker. That's got to be at least like $5,000 right there.
So here we go. So 2-night ticket, premium suite with all-inclusive food and beverage. I appreciate that. In-suite Undertaker appearance. Hey man.
The lights got to go down in the suite, right? It's just like the middle of the show. It's one of the breaks because they got so many of those. It's like a break, and all of a sudden, like the lights go off just in that suite, and you're like, "Fuck!" I was trying to enjoy this hot dog, and the lights, and then it's just dong.
His lights come up, and he's standing next to you eating a hot dog. Hey man, that's a good hot dog. You like that hot dog?
Oh, that's worth $10,000 alone, honestly.
He just shows up to eat a fucking glizzy with you. You know what? He's going to show up for the Rhea Ripley match. Like, hey, remember this broad? I remember her. Remember what we did for her? Authentic Undertaker Championship title and earn photo opportunity.
You don't get the title. You just get a photo op with it. That sucks.
You get Top Golf with The Miz. Sean Ross Sapp is crying right now. WWE World and Superstore access, which I assume is like a VIP gimmick because
everybody has access.
Normally you can get on it, but I guess they give you early access or like special shopping hours, exclusive Undertaker themed gifting, a dedicated entrance, and professional on location staff support. How much do you think this package starts per person?
That's got to be 2 nights of WrestleMania. It's got to start it. If we were talking about the other gimmick being like maybe 7,500, but the package you listed before you had to like contact representative was like 5,000. This has got to be every bit of like 10,000.
10,500 per person.
Yeah. The
Elite experience for WrestleMania, has limited.
You get to watch the Young Bucks.
This is another connect with our team, but for WrestleMania this year, there's Elite and Elite Plus.
Ooh.
Let's take a look at Elite Plus. John Cena is the Elite Plus athlete.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you ready for this?
Yeah.
The Elite Plus experience puts you in prime position to make the most of your WrestleMania weekend. Packed full of exclusive events and unforgettable experiences, a priority pass allows you to curate the perfect WrestleMania 41 experience that could include, not does, it could include premium row 1 camera side seating for Raw, SmackDown, and WrestleMania 41, in-ring photo op at WrestleMania 41. That's neat. Post-show press conference access and desk photo op. Please stop letting on location people to the press conferences. That's all. Just stop. Can we stop that, please?
That's fine.
Yes, you on location, Macho Man. Yeah, I've got a question for Paul Levesque. What? Anyway, superstar walkout experience on the WrestleMania stage. Interesting. I wonder what is that at WrestleMania or is that like somewhere else where they do a fake
like pre-show or something, right?
Probably. I would assume, or like one night before the show. All-inclusive hospitality with on-stage appearances by John Cena and Bret Hart.
Ooh,
that's kind of neat. 3-day WWE World Ticket and Fast Lane access, of course. Expedited Superstore entrance and express checkout lane. You can get that normally if you go to the event just a little early. Commemorative chair with hassle-free shipping. Custom WWE title side plates. They're just assuming everyone who buys this ticket has a WWE championship.
I mean, honestly, fair assumption.
I get it. You know what? You're right. WWE made WrestleMania 41 and Priority Pass gift pack, which I'm sure is like t-shirts and lanyards and stuff. Ring mat plaque, WWE credential and lanyard, private transportation to all elite events. That is not capital A.
All elite events.
I know.
You get private transportation at AEW events.
It's very strange, but here they are.
WWE offering that's a little weird, but more power to them.
That was a lowercase ALL and then capital ELITE events. Expedited entry at dedicated priority pass entrance, elite concierge services. There you go. Make your WrestleMania experience one to remember with a package from On Location, the official hospitality provider of WWE, of the WWE.
All right.
There you go. Absurd. Oh, okay. There you go. Ken Bruno's actually putting it over. They're on point. If you have the cash, it's worth it. Nice. He's done the All Elite experience and On Location. So the AEW and WWE ones. That's neat. I love it. Hey, you know what? Never going to tell of anyone how to spend their money. I'm just going to tell you to enjoy it. And I hope that it's a fun experience. Some of these really do sound cool. Again, production tour is right up my alley. I would go to the Rogers Center event. I would go to Elimination Chamber. I would just be like, I'm going to go walk around the halls of the production area. Is that cool? And they'll be like, what are you doing? I'm doing whatever I want. This is my town. But that's what I would do. Go to the production truck outside.
I do think these things sound cool if you have the money for it and you're just like, hey, sure, why not? Like, this is not one, I ain't spending this kind of money on this kind of experience, you know, but hey, more power to you. If you got the money to do it, and it's certainly something that's memorable and you know, get to really enjoy the event. You can get free rides to the AEW events. That's pretty sweet.
Pretty neat. Which AEW event do you think it is?
The one that's up against Saturday night's main event, apparently.
Well, no, this is WrestleMania weekend.
Then you're going up against ROH. You get a free ride to the ROH event.
No, that ROH event is probably like Friday at midnight. It's going to be like something. Oh no, Friday at midnight is the anyway. You know what it'll be? It'll be Collision. It'll be Collision in like Hendersonville, Nevada.
Did they run Collision? They did have Collision last year.
They did.
And that's when they aired the Punk footage, or that's when they announced they were going to air.
They announced it. Yeah.
Punk footage. Yeah, that was a night. It's like, oh, WrestleMania 1's over. Anyway, here's AEW announcing we're going to air this CM Punk footage on Dynamite. Like, oh, all right. Sure.
How would Joel book the All Elite experience? Just let me go and have fun at the show. You know what? AEW has been really good to me when I've gone to their shows.
Joel would want to book the show. He would be like, I want the pencil from Tony. That's what I would want anyway.
I mean, a lot of fans are going to want the pencil because last night that was
more murder.
He tried to give it to you. Mox tried to do this last week. He did bring out the plastic bag, and then it got stopped.
And he became a coward, and he ran away.
Yeah, well, he got coward out on Saturday too. So I guess now we should probably get into this whole thing.
Sure.
Why not?
What are we talking about?
Talking about Maximum Carnage, but we're talking specifically about the main event for Saturday Maximum Carnage Collision. Tony Khan announced a 12-man tag team match. Not even an all-star tag. What are we doing? Why isn't this an all-star tag? He made the announcement it's going to be Jon Moxley, Wheeler, basically the Death Riders. So Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio, no pack, along with the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith. They're going to take on Powerhouse Will Hobbs, who will have just competed on Wednesday for the
new AEW World Champion, Powerhouse Hobbs.
I mean, listen, he's not. There's no championship in this photo, so who knows what that'll bring. The Outrunners, FTR, and Cope. That got a lot of people feeling a certain way. It's JV tag, YMCA tag, JCC tag. I got a lot of people feeling a certain way. So let's start. We got a couple super chats. First, Margie Loves sends super chat saying, hey, y'all, new listeners of ITW formerly have busted open. My God, Jeremy, we're doing it. We're bringing the people over. The reaction to the 12-man tag was a lot, but also interesting. It feels like a straw that broke the camel's back for the IWC at least. A lot of feelings about this.
Who cares?
A lot of people are upset about this. This story is not really capturing the zeitgeist of wrestling fans as of this moment.
This thing so far, it has 1.6 million impressions. Look, man, if this thing leads to an increase in viewership, I feel like it might be worth it. Honestly.
Tony's going to take a victory lap and we're all going to
yes. I feel like it might be worth it. So 1.6 impressions, 8.1K likes, 1.9K retweets / quote tweets, and 1.8K comments. It's averaged out very well. Quadruple double, quadruple triple here for Tony Khan.
The man's having a Hall of Fame night.
I saw it and I saw the immediate reactions from it. All I think was like, Tony, they cooking you in the comments, bro. Like, you're just getting destroyed on this.
You know how you know it's bad? You know how you know it's bad? When our pal, Matt Black, when he takes to it and he says, Tony, I love AEW, but it's time for this Moxley title reign and the Learning Tree nonsense to end. This ain't it. Please do what you've always done and pivot. He doesn't always pivot, but anyway, the company needs to move on from this stuff and get back to what this company made great in the first place. I love that. Like, I see someone who's very much a fan of AEW coming out and being like, nope. Yeah, then Tony's gonna ratio us with this banger.
That's the thing, is like, this upset the hardcore of hardcore.
Yeah,
AEW fans. The day one loyal people are upset over this one. And I get it. Like, I get it. Chris Jericho is sort of worn out the welcome on this. And the Moxley stuff just ain't hitting. Like, I'm sure they hoped it would have. Certainly not hitting like I hoped it would have when it started. And now people are very confused as to why Jon Moxley and Chris Jericho are teaming. So here's a very funny thing. You know, Grok, that stupid thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's garbage is what it is, but go ahead.
I agree. I mean, I don't actually look at it, but like you can't avoid it on Twitter anymore, sadly.
That is true.
So if you go to Tony's post, the two Grokisms here. What led to Moxley Jericho alliance? Will this affect AEW's reputation long term?
The most
click it.
These are the two most ace shock questions in the chat we can get.
Let's see what the answer is. Grok, what led to Moxley Jericho alliance? The alliance between Jon Moxley and Chris Jericho was formed for the AEW Collision Maximum Carnage event, where they are part of a 12-man tag. This pairing has sparked discussions due to their history as rivals, which adds element of surprise and intrigue to the storyline. Critics and fans have expressed confusion over the storyline coherence, especially considering Jon Moxley's previous opposition to what AEW has become. Will this affect AEW's reputation long term? The involvement of high-profile wrestlers like Jon Moxley and Chris Jericho in the 12-man tag could enhance AEW's reputation by showcasing star power and potentially delivering a memorable match. Fans' reactions are mixed, with some criticism regarding storyline coherence, which might negatively affect AEW's reputation if fans feel the narrative is not well crafted. The event serves as a critical juncture for AEW to redefine its creative strategy, potentially affecting its long-term reputation positively if well executed, or negatively if it fails to meet fan expectations. The anticipation and debate around the event suggests strong engagement, which could bolster AEW's reputation if the event exceeds expectations. Criticism from fans about the booking decisions might lead to a short-term dip in reputation if not addressed, but long-term effects depend on how AEW responds to feedback. Amazing answers. Absolutely amazing answers.
So first of all, Della comment in the chat absolutely nails it. I think this is the way we bring down AI. We try to make sense of pro wrestling bookings. Try to make it make sense of it. Lady B saying, can Grok book Dynamite? Unfortunately, probably could. But I love
that. Ask Grok to book Dynamite.
So I just did it on ChatGPT, and I know other shows have done this too. Some of these are Pardon?
Shout out to a Battleground. Battleground is they do interviews. Tim and Eli at Battleground. They like to ask a ChatGPT question at the end, just to like mix things up and have some fun. It's always something like a little offbeat, which look, I appreciate that it's a little offbeat because there's so many interviews that just ask the same question. So having an offbeat question like that, however you get there, is and it, at least Tim and Eli are honest about how they get there. Like, hey, we kind of threw this at ChatGPT, and it makes for a fun little answer. So shout out to them; they do good work.
Hell yeah. No, I'm all for it. So I said book an episode of AEW Collision. Like, I can't book or schedule episodes, but I can help you with plan a fun hypothetical card. Here's an example. So Collision for today, for whatever reason. I guess they don't know it's Saturday Collision. Anyway, opening match, tag team action. The Young Bucks versus Top Flight. I feel like we've been there before. Tensions build as both teams want a shot at the AEW World Tag Team Championships with a fast-paced match to prove who is the superior team. So far, they know who the tag champs are. Good. Singles match. This is where it starts to go downhill. Orange Cassidy versus Miro. Miro returns to AEW with a vengeance.
This rules.
Challenging the reigning AEW All-Atlantic champion Orange Cassidy in a hard-hitting contest.
Oh, well, they're a little off there.
Oh, he had a good run while it lasted. Women's match, Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter. This works right now, but I don't think it works in what ChatGPT thinks it is. Both women are looking to climb the ranks of the AEW women's division, and a victory here could lead them in a future title opportunity. FTR promo. Oh Christ, that's not what I want. FTR cut a promo about their return to AEW and their plans to challenge the tag team champions, but are interrupted by a surprise challenge from the Acclaimed.
All right.
And in our main event, oh, this is upsetting. AEW TNT Championship match. The champion, Samoa Joe, takes on Eddie Kingston.
Oh, hell yeah. Look, give ChatGPT the book. Put the title back on Joe. Bringing Kingston back. I'm sold.
Eddie Kingston's quest for gold continues as he looks to dethrone the reigning champion, Samoa Joe, in a brutal, no-holds-barred contest. Like, listen, I get it. People are like, let him cook. I get it. But, like, maybe we should understand who the champions are first.
No, this is way better.
Now explain the Death Riders storyline in AEW. Well, the Death Rider storyline in AEW revolves around, oh my God, this is long. Oh my God, no, it's turning into an AEW Dynamite preview. No, they're doing it in parts. We're at part 5. There's 2 things. I'm not reading this. I'm sorry. It's too much. But basically, the breakdown of the key elements include the formation of the Blackpool Combat Club, the birth of the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli's role, sure, the Death Riders' influence, and then the BCC's continued dominance. So I think that they kind of realized that this story makes no sense. So I broke it. I broke ChatGPT. So 12-man tag. I think what people are most upset about isn't that Moxley and Jericho are now suddenly teaming up. Is that Pac showed up for like 1 episode of the show and then he's gone again.
I mean, there's a lot of questions about this. All right, let me try to make some sense of this. All right, sorry people are going to be mad that I actually am going to attempt to make sense.
Of this 12-man tag team match?
Yeah.
Sure.
Jericho and Moxley are on the same team because their hatred of the Rock and Roll Express have brought them all together. Because I know people don't watch ROH. I make fun of people who watch ROH because it's funny to me. But they were feuding with... They showed up on ROH to confront Chris Jericho. And obviously they had the little thing with Jon Moxley where they were like, you don't have the balls to do anything. And then Jon Moxley proved he did not have the balls to do anything. So they're brought together by their hatred of the Rock and Roll Express. The babyface team makes sense because they're babyfaces and at least they got friends in this company. I know people are like, oh, the teaming with the Learning Tree seems like the antithesis of what the Death Riders are all about. Maybe you guys are missing the layered storytelling of the Death Riders. Because Jon Moxley says it's about helping the young guys, and I forgot his whole mission statement. That was months ago, and it's got convoluted all to hell since then. But it's really about Jon Moxley. He's become just kind of an egotistical coward, right? Like, look at Jon Moxley. What has he done these past few weeks? He's just been out for himself. He's sacrificing his teammates. He's running away when things get tough. He's a coward now. There ain't no bigger egotistical coward in the company than Chris Jericho. So them teaming up, 2 egotistical cowards being on the same team, finding common ground, kind of makes sense. And again, the babyfaces make sense because they're just all friends and everything. So they've all come together for this 12-man tag. Not live.
They will have been taped.
Yeah, it's taped on Thursday. But for AEW Collision, I've explained it. You're welcome.
Yep, sorry, I got nothing. Nope, not that. Ain't gonna be that.
What?
Kim Bruno saying, don't turn that dial to Busted Open, fans. I hear Dave LaGreca is whining about Cody being in the crowd again at Raw. That'll put butts in seats. Meanwhile, on our show, I'm going to finger poke of doom Jeremy Lambert and take his position as lead wrestling writer on the website.
Good luck.
That's right. I don't want that job. You're right. It's all yours, pal. I'm going to stay in my. I'm going to stay in my ivory tower.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's if this is their blow off for Cope hates everyone and Powerhouse Hobbs not winning the AEW championship, it'll come and go. And then we'll be on to the next thing. That's kind of the hard part is trying.
But this isn't wait, what is the payoff with Cope hates everyone?
Well, this is the problem. Cope hates everyone, so Cope's gonna pin all 6 members of the other team.
That sucks.
He's gonna get a giant bar, like a giant thing of rebar, put him in between everyone's mouth, and then he's just gonna wrench up, and they're all gonna. That's how it's gonna work.
It just feels like they're just gonna have Cope pin Yuta. Like Yuta takes losses. That's what Yuta.
That's all I'm thinking about. Like who or Brian Keith. Either Brian Keith or Wheeler Yuta are gonna eat the pin in this match.
Yeah.
I think that the people are rightfully annoyed. It's funny because you mentioned the Moxley Jericho stuff, and that's what really kind of hits the hardcore fans. They know that those two have never gotten along. They've never been friends, and just because they're both heels right now doesn't mean that they should suddenly be working together. That's annoyed some people, rightfully so. And then on the other hand, you've got Cope and you've got Hobbs. You're trying to work with Hobbs, who's gotten the championship match, which is on the Wednesday, and then by the end of that week, they will have not completely killed off whatever the story was. But does this become Hobbs and FTR go after the trios titles next? Or is this just like, thanks for coming out, Hobbs. You're going to pin Wheeler Yuta and you're going to get the win so that we don't make you look like a complete loser because you lost on Wednesday on Dynamite?
It just feels like they're doing this match because one, it's a taped show. It's up against the NFL playoffs. It's like, hey, what can these few, like all these guys are in the orbit of each other, and they've been in the orbit of each other for the past couple of weeks. It's like, all right, let's do this 12-man tag. A little curious of why you announce it before you do the Hobbs and Moxley title match. Like, it feels like you maybe could have done it, but because the show's taped on Thursday, I guess you want to go ahead and give people a reason to potentially come to the show. Because if you announce it Wednesday night, then everyone, myself included, would complain of like, you haven't announced anything for Collision. Like, the show is on Thursday. The show's being taped on Thursday. So I guess you kind of have to announce it a little bit in advance just because it is being taped on Thursday. It feels like Cope's just going to win and Moxley just might scurry off again. That's been the almost most disappointing things about this whole Jon Moxley thing. Is like, he went from this killer who was, I guess, trying to re-envision AEW to just a run-of-the-mill chicken shit heel. It's like, and if you want to read deep into the layered storytelling of like, oh, Moxley saying, too many egos are getting in the way, but it's really his ego getting in the way. Moxley saying he wants people to step up, what AEW used to be about. But Moxley's not actually stepping up. He's putting AEW on the back burner. He's putting the title in the briefcase. He's running away every chance he gets. Like, if that's your headcanon storyline, that's how you're making sense of things. Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't think that's what the original intention was. I don't think that's what they've been going for. Maybe they pivot into that, but then it brings up the other question of like, is that even good? And I don't think Jon Moxley, the way he started, the way this whole thing started, him being just kind of a run-of-the-mill chicken shit heel is good.
But now he's running away because he's a big old coward.
I got breaking news, Joel.
It's Bad Bunny.
No, Bad Bunny rules, but I mean,
is it WWE shop?
Yes, it is WWE.
I got this. I got you. Hold on.
All right, you can pull it up. All right,
you bet. Yeah, it's there, baby.
They have a mask already. Look at that. Who cares about the hoodie? Take away the hoodie. The mask.
Mask.
They are selling Penta masks.
Look at those
This
things.
man-
They got the things on them. They got the you know, like the beaded. They got the beaded pillow effect on them. Look at this shit.
This man is not even officially debuted, and they got the mask up.
You got the shirts. You got the look at that hoodie. Look, my God.
That is a kind of a sweet hoodie, honestly.
And it's because of the white t-shirt as well. And it's a white hoodie. You know, it's always nice to have that.
Yeah, I respect.
Yeah, you got that. You got that $75 special event item. Insane. This item will be shipped no later than April 21st, 2025. Just amazing.
They're already putting, like, obviously with the vignettes they did the teasers and everything. They're gonna debut him in a big spot against Chad Gable, and they're already putting a lot of equity and stock into him by selling this stuff and selling his mask, man. You know, we talked about that forever with AEW of like, why weren't they selling Penta masks the entire time? And people were like, oh, it's a AAA thing, or it's a Mass Republic thing, or it's a trademark thing, whatever it might be. Whatever it was, don't know.
It got paid.
Clearly WWE handled it.
Yeah, it got paid up for this one.
Yeah.
So this is the description of the mask. Cero miedo for Penta. It's not just a phrase. He has no fear of anything and is driven to be as aggressive as possible to reach his goals. He's going to turn on Rey Mysterio so fast. Show that you also live life without fear by grabbing this Penta luchador replica mask. The rugged appliques and sequin details all over this bold luchador mask make this accessory a great grab for those eager to see the dark luchador dive upon and dominate anyone daring to stand in his path. The most chat GPT ass description, but a damn cool looking helmet. It's nice. They're gonna sell a lot of these things. That's wild. But yeah, the other thing was Bad Bunny rules, and he said he would come back to WWE and work. So good for him.
Good, he needs to.
Yeah, he did that in a Rolling Stone interview. He was like, "I'd like to come back to WWE."
Yeah, he should be the champion.
But yeah, that's all the stuff for Penta right now.
I'm sure they'll have more, but the fact that they already got stuff up, including the mask, which again, that was a big talking point, especially on this show, of how they not do this. It's a good sign for Penta, who's not debuted yet.
Nothing for Phoenix yet. Just making sure.
Well, he's
hey, just saying, you never know.
Nah, I mean, you can't quite sell Phoenix stuff just yet.
What about Eddie Thorpe?
What about Eddie Thorpe?
What? No, they all think it's Eddie Guerrero. Well, I get it. Ooh, wireless charger and mouse pad. Neat. Completely useless, but neat. Anything else here that's worth looking at before we get back into whatever we're talking? Ooh, MacBook case. Oh no, it's a keyscaper. Oh, stupid. Foldable charger. Ooh, charging station. These are all useless. Anyway, did it. Search Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks. It'll be Ricky's Dragon Steamboat. Zoe Stark. Oh, you think they're gonna make him change his name? No. Ricky's sister Zoe.
No, I don't think they're gonna make Ricky change his name. If he goes there, I don't have any insight, but if it happens.
Oh, there's no Aleister Black merch. I'm sorry. It's just black. You look up black and you get a black t-shirt. Put them together and same shit. Sorry, folks. We tried. There's a gold Yeet shirt. Oh, this was the Champions collector hoodie for Jay. Hot. All right, I'm done looking at this. Stop sharing. We're back. Thea Hale merch. All right, before we go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we gotta look that up. I'm not gonna share my screen because I doubt we'll find it, but yeah, no Thea Hale match.
No Thea Hale match. I know. I had a match in like 7 months.
That is true. You can bid on a Dante Chen and Lexus King autographed match used Singapore cane from the June 11th, 2024 episode of NXT?
No.
How much do you think the current bid is?
$5.
Actually, it started at 50. It is currently 105. The bid increments can go $5.
That was close.
You did something.
Nah, sounds terrible. I just want a Thea Hale t-shirt. I would wear a Thea Hale t-shirt.
That's true. Let's hit a couple super chats while we're at it, shall we? Meet Norma saying, "Sup, partners? I'd like them to put the title Meet on Powerhouse Hobbs." Of course you would, Meet Normus. Of course you would. Appreciate that. You're very on brand, if nothing else. And let Mox finally take a break. Mox has taken a break.
Yeah, he took a break from after Forbidden Door all the way through All In. He came back at the episode after All In.
That's right. Not like he went anywhere else throughout that whole time. Combine the ROH and AEW trios belts. I agree. And book 2 women's matches, TK.
Well, they did that, but
they did.
Then they didn't do that.
And they stopped. And then they did, and they didn't, and they did, and they didn't. Listen, some of this is stuff that has definitely been bandied about for the last little while, and I agree with it. The ROH and AEW trios belts were combined, and then they were split up again, and that made no sense. So we got to get that back to one belt, one trios belt. Even if you get rid of them altogether, that's fine too. 2 women's matches, just make these stories make sense. Make it so that you've got a championship, or even a champion segment, good match that builds up a challenger for whatever story you're building in the division. Do that stuff. Hobbs winning the title, beating Mox, I don't know about that, but they definitely need to figure out whatever the pivot's going to be. They got to start figuring that out.
Well, we haven't talked about Darby. And
yes,
we have. I don't know how many. I don't listen to other shows, but we have been very on the ball about Darby and how he's gonna be climbing Everest and how that was gonna factor into plans. So
let's get to that. Darby Allen it was confirmed by Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful Select that Darby Allen has been off the road as of late and hasn't been at AWTV. Told that Allen has started his training for Mount Everest and is not expected back for months. The word internally was that Darby would be slated for a push upon his return, which would not be expected until the spring. So we're looking towards April, May, latest June. But as of right now, the training for Everest has begun. Darby Allen is off TV. And if he's going to be the guy to take that title from Jon Moxley, Groundhog Day is going to take a little while for us. Put it like that.
Again, we've talked about Darby and how his Everest plan was going to potentially get in the way of whatever plans they might have had for Darby. Darby always felt like the end game. Always felt like the end game when it comes to this. And, we kind of theorized, okay, well, if he's going to Everest in April, do you put the title on him at Revolution and then Christian immediately cashes in? The Everest climb takes months. The come down from that takes a while. Like, we weren't sure. Double or Nothing seemed too soon. So maybe he'd be back by All In, or if they run something in June, then it could be that's when he would return. But could you afford to wait that long with the Moxley stuff? We all kind of agreed, probably not. Probably not. But now with Darby out, you don't even have the option of him, if he comes back and does a match, of there being an immediate cash in with Christian. And I didn't think that was going to be a good move either, by the way. I never thought Darby winning and then Christian immediately cashing in was a satisfying conclusion to this story. Darby winning is satisfying, but immediately losing it to Christian, like, it makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm saying, is that satisfying to me personally? I understand there's 500,000 other people that watch this show.
Like our show. You're talking about our show.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to me, that just isn't a satisfying conclusion. If other people enjoyed it and were like, and thought like, hey, Christian winning the title out of all this is good, more power to you. I think the reactions over these past few weeks and certainly this past weekend kind of says that wasn't going to be a satisfying conclusion to all of this. And now it feels like the most satisfying conclusion is Powerhouse Hobbs should just win this damn title and move forward. I don't know if this is going to work. And I don't know. I don't fully love this idea either. I will always admit when I don't love my own ideas.
Put it in the trash. Get your things.
No. Big Boom AJ should win all these. That idea actually.
That one we can stand by. Yes.
I think Cope and Moxley should wrestle at Revolution, and Cope should win, and Christian should cash in. And then you do a kind of a reset at Dynasty in April, assuming they're running a Dynasty show. You do a reset. You do Christian and Kenny. You do Christian and Ospreay. I don't care who you do Christian against, but you do it against one of your We're the Best Wrestle guys, and you put the title on them, and you go from there. Do Christian and a returning Samoa Joe, Christian Hangman. I don't care which one you do it with, but you basically do a hard reset at Dynasty, and you move forward with a Hangman, a Joe, a Kenny, an Ospreay, a Swerve, an Okada. You go with one of them. That would be what I would do.
Is there a way to make a situation work where MJF captures the AEW World Championship from Jon Moxley, and that he takes over? I'm not saying he takes over the Death Riders. That's not what I'm saying. But effectively, Max wins so that we get to Darby and Max. Max and Mox is now going to ruin me. But can we do Max wins the title? Darby comes back in the spring. Those two have history. There's been good matches between them. Is there a way that you can do Max wins back the Triple B? Maybe he cheats to win. But going into it, the problem is both men are supposed to be equally hated. So maybe is it the Death Riders kind of implode on themselves during the match and Max takes advantage? You're going from heel to heel. So you would have to have some sort of stronger main event match if you're not doing this on TV. But is there a way to just transfer to Max and then go to Darby come the spring? Does that make sense? Is it useful?
I don't know if there's a great way for Moxley to lose the title to MJF. I know MJF said like he's coming back after the Triple B, coming back after everything is over. And that was a good promo. And like I like that he's at least acknowledging the world title and that he wants it back. But getting it from Moxley doesn't feel like there's a whole lot there, honestly. Because he's already said like he doesn't really care about what Jon Moxley is doing. He doesn't care about the company. He wants the title, which is fine. But if you're just having two people feud over this title that's been in the briefcase, is not great. Not great. Like, the title should matter.
Yeah, it should. It's something that I continue to think about because this is their top title. And I see Matthew Hooks in the chat being like, there's an over-analyzing of Mox's reign when Cody's had one good story. I mean, I think A, that's arguable, and B, you've got this is the one thing with WWE has so many titles. Well, so does AEW, and why aren't you talking about both or comparing both? Like, here's the only thing I can tell you is that the way that WWE puts their champions in the show, like in their lanes, is why it tends to work better for them right now. Cody being the focal point of SmackDown most weeks means you're focused on Cody. Gunther being the focal point on Raw, or at least of his own show, makes you put more work on the Gunther story. Stuff like that tends to work. Whereas on AEW, Collision and Dynamite, the two shows are together, but for some reason, some stories, it's no one's connecting like this. Some people are connecting like this. That's what the Cope story is. Things are not connecting in a seamless way, and as a result, it kind of feels weird.
Here's the reality of it. Yeah, A-Shot kind of says it. One company is doing really good right now and really good business. So people don't tend to look at the flaws as much. I think we're very fair in saying what's working and what's not. Like, I haven't loved everything Cody has done. I said he should have lost the title about 15 different times during this title reign.
And we were big on the KO winning the title at Saturday night's main event. We even when they did the first match in Germany, Berlin. That's Germany, right? Was that the first match?
Which one?
Cody and KO. First one was Berlin.
Yeah. Clash the Castle. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
No, Bash in Berlin.
Sure.
Yeah. We talked about that being like the first time we were like, you could do it. And then Saturday night's main event, we were like, we should do that. Have KO capture the title. But continue.
No, that's it. Is AEW, the ticket sales are down. I don't care about the ratings as much. But I do think you got to look at these ticket numbers, and you've got Jon Moxley, the world champion, going into his hometown, and you can barely move 1,500. Like, it says something. It says something that is not working.
Yeah. Let's hit the super chat from Matthew Hooks. Was, why is AEW held to a higher standard than WWE? And part of that was the conversation we just had. It is the idea that when you're hot, and you get away with more stuff. However, I would make the argument that I don't think that AEW is being held to a higher standard than WWE or vice versa. I think a fan base is just a little more loud at different times than the other about this specific thing. WWE does something stupid, fans jump on that. AEW does something that fans don't like, they do something stupid, fans jump on that. Right now, the pendulum has swung. Now you can make the argument about bad faith grifters and things like that. I made the joke, would anyone be angry if I made this thumbnail today about this 12-man tag? And going into this, it was going to be the Roman Reigns announces for the Rumble because nothing else really captured anyone's attention going into this weekend or coming out of this weekend. But this did, for better or worse. And there's good stuff that we get on for AEW when it comes to our thumbnails and our promotion. This is just one thing that got a lot of people talking. And so we come at it from more of a helpful point of view than a skies falling point of view. That's always been our thing. So I don't necessarily agree that someone's held higher to a higher standard than the other.
I think most people most of our viewers understand this too, by the way. And even Matthew says it's like, I don't think Joel and Jeremy are unfair. Like, yeah, Joel's unfair. I agree.
No, we are. We suck. It's fine.
I think our viewers get that. They've watched this show long enough to know we're not coming from it as AEW is gonna die. Oh, this is so bad. This is so terrible. Like, I've tried to explain some of the Moxley stuff. I'd like to also give solutions when it comes to stuff. I don't like just saying this is bad and I hate it and I'm not gonna watch. One, I have to watch. So, I don't have a choice. But I try to all right, this doesn't hit with me. What would I do differently? Are they going to do something differently? I don't know. And I always, if you enjoy it, if you like it, more power to you.
Keep enjoying it. Keep loving it.
Again, we do have to look at some of the realities though, of where the company is and why they're in that spot. And I look more at ticket sales than ratings and viewership and everything, because that to me just says a little bit more. That to me says, are you drawing a live audience? Because I think viewership numbers they're going to be all over the place because of how people view the show anyway, just with different streams. And now, they're on Max. Those numbers aren't out there. It's just different. Where the live audience, they're there in person, spending hard-earned money and making noise or not making noise during stuff. The live audience is always going to tell you what's working and what's not working. And the live audience, the fact that they're not moving a ton of tickets, the fact that Moxley doesn't get any type of reaction right now, it's upsetting because I like Jon Moxley. I've said for years he's been one of the most complete performers in AEW. This stuff right now, where it started when they were killing people and it ruled, to where it's at now, I'm just it's not working for me. What does work for me is the Will Ospreay stuff. Kenny Omega, which I assume is going to be a great match against Brian Cage. That stuff's working. That's where I would be like, all right, maybe this should be your world title picture instead of, Chris Jericho and Cope in main event matches.
And shit goes cold. It does sometimes. But you pick it back up when you figure out what is going to get people invested and what's going to get people involved. And our show, we tend to give those ideas. We tend to explain, why not try this? Why not try that? Because again, we're watching because we're fans, not because we want to. I have no interest in just watching something to shit on it, unless it's hilarious to shit on. That's different. But otherwise, like I want to sit down on a Wednesday or a Saturday and watch Collision or Dynamite, if we're talking about AEW specifically, and be all about it and be all about enjoying the program that we're going to watch. SmackDown, I didn't watch SmackDown until yesterday evening. And even then I didn't watch all 3 hours. I took my time. I did with watching this stuff because there was nothing on SmackDown that really drew me to, I have to watch this now. I just I went for when I had time for it. By the way, also hilarious. WWE Shop put out the tweets.
That picture rules.
They're just telling you at this point. See you on Monday.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it's so good.
Is that AI generated? Like,
it's him in a black shirt, just holding a black shirt before they did the design.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
So
yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
It's just, we're just not even trying at this point. That's amazing. Shout out to Wrestling Wind Down, who said, who pressed post too early? Oh my God. Whatever.
That's
you know what? Worst kept secret in wrestling, and I'm sure that someone's going to make that joke, at the beginning of Raw, when it happens on Raw. Like, it's the worst kept secret in wrestling. It's going to be Pat McAfee. This is going to be like all about it. It's funny. Let's get a couple super chats. Ryan Adams pointing out that the WWE Vault uploaded an unseen Mimosa Joe versus John Cena match, prototype versus the Ragosa Joe. I'm gonna go back and watch that. That's a WWE, what is that, a house show match, or is that a Rick Bassman's what was the promotion he ran? They were in that UPW. Yeah. It's probably a UPW match.
Yeah.
Let's take a look real quick while I'm at the WWE Vault. Why aren't you loading faster, WWE Vault? John Cena collides with Mimosa Joe in a rare one-on-one match at a WWE live event in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Okay.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. August 2017. They were in the company together. I get it. And then we got a bunch from Tenruza. So let's get through these. It says, as a WWE fan, I'm just disappointed.
As an AEW fan. Did
I say WWE? Sorry. As an AEW fan, thank you for that. I'm just disappointed that the tag division got to the point that Motor City Machine Guns chose not to go there, and Lucha Bros wanted to leave, and then Starks and Malachi Black, as he's known in AEW, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know how to put this in a different way, but talent are going to go where talent feel they are most valued, and where they can get the most money, or where they can get the most opportunity. I don't know what the conversations were like between all of these mentioned and AEW. I mean, we talked about Ricky Starks, we talked about Malachi Black, Motor City Machine Guns, and Lucha Bros, again, reported on for months. But we don't know what the conversations were like. We don't know what they felt their perceived value was versus what was offered, and what ultimately made the decision for any of these people to make their decisions to go where they went.
So when it comes to the talent, they're going to go where they think they have the best opportunity, and then there are obviously other factors that go with that as well. To keep it television, to keep it tag team division, which I think Private Party's reign hasn't done anything for me, because they've been just feuding with teams that there weren't a whole lot of stock put into them during these feuds. And kind of same thing with Daniel Garcia, who just faced Shibata, and that was a good match. Like, there's nothing wrong with the Daniel Garcia Shibata match. And I know that they may have been, like, Garcia was at West Coast Pro on Friday, and then went all the way to, they were in Tennessee, went all the way to Tennessee for, or Georgia, maybe.
Georgia,
I think they were in Georgia.
Yeah, Athens, okay. Georgia.
still cross country
Yeah,
essentially.
cross country.
Yeah, to do that match. So good on Danny Garcia for making that trip and making the town there, brother. If you want to like headcanon this Death Rider stuff, you can say that Daniel Garcia and Private Party have benefited because they stepped up and then they went on to win titles. I know there's a fine line between beat you over the head with it and the subtle layered subtext of what's actually happening. One, you have to make up the subtle layered subtext sometimes if you really want to try to explain the story, and then beat over the head with it. I understand it becomes too much, but the fact that like Private Party again was like thanking the Young Bucks for having them elevate their game and stuff like that. I think you could surmise that the Death Rider stuff, as I was doing earlier with the Jon Moxley headcanon of, well, he's an egotistical, chicken shit. That's the people he hates. That's what he's become. Oh, he wanted people to step up. He wanted the young guys to step up and make something. Well, Daniel Garcia and Private Party did that. Look at that. They're champions now. Like, you can build something there. The problem is they just haven't done a great job following up or like fully explaining that with things. The tag division has suffered. We talked a little bit about it on Friday's show, maybe. But like the tag division has just suffered because the Private Party stuff, they've just feuded with teams that there weren't a whole lot in with. And then, I mean, look who they beat at the last pay-per-view. It was Brody and Malachi, and now Malachi's gone. The Outrunners were in that match, and like they're doing okay, but they just lost a tag team match on Collision. And it was the other team in that. Was Top Flight in that match? Maybe it was in the four-way match.
Yes, I want to say it was Top Flight because then they got the tag title shot.
Well, no, they didn't get the tag title shot. Action Andretti and Leo got the tag title shot,
and they were in the match though. Top Flight, but I'm pretty sure they were still in the match.
The Acclaimed were in the four-way.
Oh God.
Yeah, so they're doing their own thing right now. So
I don't know if that's what I'd say, but sure.
Like that was a match that it felt like most people were just waiting on the Acclaimed to turn on each other more than, hey, this is Private Party's first title defense type of thing. Then they defended against Action Andretti and Leo Rush, who there wasn't a whole lot of equity. And then now they're facing Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. Look, if they beat Lashley and Shelton, that's a strong win. That's a big victory for them. I have my doubts they're going to beat Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. And I do think, by the way, that Lashley and Shelton being the tag team champions is probably a good thing and would hopefully raise the division a little bit.
We will see, but let's keep going. I'm trying to follow up on the other Bad Bunny news that's going around.
What is the other Bad Bunny news?
Some people are talking that in that Rolling Stone article, he states that Backlash is headed to Mexico. Some people have pulled it up, but I haven't seen anything official. Oh, okay. Hold on. Sorry. Baydal had put something out there.
Okay.
Yeah. He said, what can I tell you? This was what was it like to bring Backlash to Puerto Rico? He was asked, and Bad Bunny says, what can I tell you? It was nice. We were there until we could bring WWE to we were there until we could bring WWE to Puerto Rico. And man, I actually feel like it was good for them and for everyone because I saw that last year. Backlash was in France and now it's going to Mexico. They saw that it worked. So either Bad Bunny knows and just dropped it, or
Bad Bunny's just out here breaking news.
Saying it. So that's I was looking to see if Sean had mentioned it. He hasn't. Obviously all the other engagement accounts have put it out there, but Bad Bunny may have said that it's going to be Mexico for Backlash, but it's not official yet. He may have dropped a hint. We'll put it like that. Love it. Continuing on, Tenriza had sent a couple more saying, also, TK being so online, but still listening to the stupid suggestions being made backstage is baffling. It's not working. Creative needs a shakeup. There are certain things that, yes, again, I agree with, but I think that we're seeing, like the last 2 episodes of Dynamite, have some really strong stuff coming out of it. I think some of the main event stories are lacking, to say the least. We talked about it. Cope being a challenger, Cope going after the learning tree and the Death Rider simultaneously has been more of a detriment than a help. But meanwhile, like they're making stuff out of Will Ospreay. They're making stuff out of Julia Hart. They're making stuff out of their women's division. They're building into it. There are some strong stories that Tony is involved with. There's certainly some suggestions that are coming from people in ranked positions that are probably not needed right now. I could put it like that. I don't know if creative needs a shakeup as much as it is some more people need to be able to say no to certain creative directions.
Yeah, I don't know who's saying what. I don't like it. It all stops with Tony though, right? And that's the good and the bad of being in that position is you're going to get the credit when stuff is working, and you're going to get the blame when stuff is not working, because he approves all these ideas. So he approves the good stuff that you do like, and he approves the bad stuff that you maybe you're not a fan of. And that's just how it goes. There's stuff that's certainly not working when it comes to the main event.
Exactly. Next one from Tenruza is, does Christian cash in a Grand Slam here in Australia and then do Christian versus Omega or Joe for Revolution? TK, remember, you have Swerve, Takeshita, etc. as well. Hey, Takeshita's having too much fun over in New Japan Pro Wrestling this week and last week. So who knows when Takeshita will show up again with his formerly All Atlantic Championship. I'm making fun of our ChatGPT comment. The international title around takes waste. I don't know. I don't know if a Christian cash in Australia is the way to go.
And that's sort of my idea pitched, except a month earlier of Christian cashing in and then doing Christian against Omega or Joe or whoever. Instead of at Dynasty, you're saying doing it at Revolution. If Moxley and Cope is the Grand Slam match, then I think you can do it there. I just don't think Moxley and Cope is the Grand Slam match. I don't know what the Grand Slam match is for Moxley. I don't know if Moxley's going to be on Grand Slam. That show has been very under promoted to where I'm not too excited for it. I don't know what's going to be on it. I don't know.
I've said it again. They're going to make the most out of this event because, they filled up that venue at the Brisbane Entertainment Complex. Like I know originally it was supposed to be in the stadium and so on, but listen, they filled up a 14,000 seat venue. They're going to make the most out of that. But again, it's happening outside of normal watching hours for North American viewers, because it's a North American business. So I don't expect a ton. I think that they'll showcase some of their Aussie talent. Harley Cameron will get some time. Obviously, Tony Storm will be a part of it. Who else is Australian that I'm missing? Obviously, Jay White is Kiwi. There will be Australian talent up and down that card. Hopefully, Mark Davis, Kyle Fletcher is another one. I think if you see Omega, you won't see Mox. I think they'll just do a big main event tag match. If it's not Tony and Mariah May in the main event, you can easily see the Omega tag that we've talked about being the main event of this Grand Slam event. And that's a pretty good match. I think people will be pretty stoked on that. But like, not to be flippant, but like, they've sold their tickets. They've already sold the house. So they don't have to worry as much about filling it once you have these matches kind of out there. And yeah, the event is important for some, but I don't think it's going to be as important as some have thought it would be. I've made the reference before. It's 2 weeks, maybe 3 before Revolution. You can have Tony and Mariah, Tony Storm as Rocker Tony Storm, loses the match to Mariah May. Someone goes crazy after the match. Whether maybe Mariah May goes crazy, beats the shit out of Tony Storm and be like, this isn't you, this isn't you, this isn't you, bloodies are up, whatever. And then Tony gets the rematch for Revolution. Tinseltown Tony, Timeless Tony Storm returns. That's the moment, because you're in Hollywood, you're in LA, it's the Staples Center. That's the moment she wins. And it's the perfect spot. It's perfect. You have Australia for Rocker Tony Storm, where she started, and then you go to LA, where she's labeled as from Studio 6, in the Valley, and let her have that moment in LA on pay-per-view. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know if Mox is going to be part of that show.
Yeah, we'll see if he is or not.
Give Harley Cameron the TBS championship match.
Give Harley Cameron a win. I will take 1 parentheses O-N-E parentheses victory.
Fly Shazza McKenzie all the way out to Brisbane just to eat an L. You know what? I think certain people be okay with that. That's okay. We'll see what happens with Christian and that whole mess of a championship he's got, or either the briefcase, non-briefcase, clipboard.
I've said for Redmond's, if I were saying Mox Jay White could main event Grand Slam, I've said for weeks that I thought that was the main event. I think that it's going to be Moxley and Jay White. Jay White's got to kind of insert himself back into things here, because he's kind of been missing the past couple of weeks. Like, he did the thing with Yuta, and he attacked Yuta because Yuta cost him at World's End. But the past couple of weeks, you know, they put the focus on just Powerhouse, which they should, because he's, you know, about to challenge for the title. So that makes sense. But yeah, I think they'll get Jay White kind of reinserted and heat him up again for Grand Slam. That's my guess. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I could see, I can see them doing it, but I also don't know why you'd want Jay White to lose and Tony Storm to lose, and then I don't know, Harley Cameron's the only one who wins out of all the Australians, and maybe Kyle Fletcher.
Good. Harley Cameron should win.
She should win. She should win the TBS championship. Big time moments. Tenry's also sending this was the last one of your tirade, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Sorry for all the chats. No need to be sorry. We appreciate it. Just a bit frustrated with TK having all of this incredible talent, but having all this incredible talent, easy for me to say, but going to WWE plus TK get AEW and pop culture again, hip hop, rock. Well, no, you'll get the Pointer Sisters and you will like it. You will get Saturday Nights All Right for Fighting by Elton John only, and you will like it. I get it. There are certain pop culture things that, like, they got to do. This is, again, people know that I really like RJ City. People know that I think he's very smart. And I think he's got really great different ideas, but I wouldn't rely on RJ City for like contemporary AEW, like pop culture references, because he doesn't do that. He's never done that. That's just not his. He's like, get me Ben Mankiewicz, and everyone's like, sure, let's go for it. And everyone's like, who the fuck is Ben Mankiewicz? I think it's funny. I understand the bit, but like, it's RJ. It's RJ being RJ with extensions of himself, and that's when I hope that TK starts to look at other people who are working backstage with him, and they rely on someone like Chris Hero's a good dude to talk about when it comes to like hip hop and all that, because like he was putting out these mixtapes for West Coast Pro for a while, and that was something that he was super passionate about. There are other people backstage working in the company that might have a good connection to that kind of stuff. I don't know who it is. I don't know who they are, but I hope that those names start to come forward and start like pitching how to make AEW cool, whatever cool is supposed to be.
For all we know, that stuff's happening. And
yeah,
again, it starts and stops with Tony. I think Tony likes this stuff. Like, I think he likes doing the 80s music and everything. Like, he
loves it.
He enjoys it. So, you know, that's what they're going with. It is what it is on that. We'll do a new theme for Dynamite. Well, they just do Cotton Eye Joe as the theme. We'll do a new theme for Dynamite on Wednesday, so I can turn it into a short.
It's just going to be Mariah Carey. Bring your best Mariah Carey theme for Dynamite, and we'll sing it on Wednesday. Jeremy will sing it.
I'll do Fantasy. I don't know too much Mariah Carey, honestly.
No, I don't think most people do. Madonna's like a prayer for a Dynamite theme. Oh, let's go. Great. I was going
to like a virgin. Well, they did like a virgin as the Dynamite.
At least it moves. It's kind of like the FTR theme.
You're touched for the very first time when you watch Dynamite. You're gonna explode.
Can we very quickly? There are a couple of things from Collision that I do want to bring up that were undercard things. We talked about the women's division a little bit and Mariah May. So Mariah May, Harley Cameron, they have their match. It's fine. I'm kind of over sexy finger biting in women's wrestling entrances. Have you noticed that everyone's just doing sexy finger bites? That's like Mariah May's thing. And now Harley Cameron's doing it while she's like going down the road. It's very strange. I'm over it. Good match though. You just don't want to make any reference to this. Do you have a sexy finger bite? Is that why?
All right, sexy.
Oh man, I'm so turned on by the sexy finger bite.
Bro, that like, I'm not condoning that one. A sexy finger bite. I'm dead when my wife does that. I'm just like, do what you will with me.
Well, all right, we're learning today. You're sober too. There's been no mana involvement. My God. The Hangman promo was great. Matthew Hooks is mentioning that. The Hangman stuff was really good. Christopher Daniels' response was good. Those two are going to have a Texas death match on Collision next week. That should be the main event, not the 12-man tech. That Hangman Christopher Daniels match, that has main event to me. It's going to be a fun match. So big fan of that. Can we talk about the Copeland Big Bill match for 2 seconds?
Yeah, they should have pivoted and
just the
Big
finish.
Bill should have won.
Big Bill was the babyface. He was getting cheered. He did the 3.01 kick out on Cope. Cope went low. He kicked him in the dick. Copeland was the heel in this match.
They gotta. Here's what they should do on Saturday. Big Bill should stack all these dorks. Big Bill. I need a Big Bill, Big Boom tag team.
Let's go.
And that's who should be at the top of AEW. Big Bill and Big Boom, baby. But Big Bill should just stack everybody on the opposing team on Saturday. Stack the Death Riders as well. That's what I would do.
I'm all for it. Big Boom. Just winning everything. Give him the TNT title. Give him all the titles. You mentioned Garcia and Shibata having a good match. Did you notice what happened at the end as the camera was cutting away? Daniel Garcia was trying to call out Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, I saw that. And I don't know if they made the they were like, no, we're not going to do that. Gabe Kidd had a great match against Ishii. They're gonna run that back in Chicago. So,
which is wild because again, like we know Tomohiro Ishii is really good. I just can't think of a time where I've been like, man, I've got to see like even more Ishii in the main card or like
what
top of the card. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I've gotten so used to seeing him in AEW compared to New Japan, or maybe it's just because he's almost 50 years old. I have my feel. I don't hate him. I just don't think that's the guy I got to see. I like him. I like his matches. I don't know. I can't explain it.
It's got to be the AEW-ness and how he loses every single AEW match. Because you watch his stuff in New Japan.
It very well could be.
Dude just bullies people and just wrecks people in New Japan. Rules.
Dinner's is saying the ITW future AEW word of the day is pivot. I mean, we are very good at pivot. That's true. I do hate wrestling.
Yeah.
I hate
AEW. He hates wrestling if he hates Tomohiro Ishii.
I don't hate Tomohiro Ishii. I think I just became.
Feels like you're a hater of Ishii.
I've just become disinterested, and maybe if I start watching more of his New Japan stuff lately, I'll be good.
AEW tells you he's a loser every single time, so I kind of get that. Is every time he's on AEW television, I'm like, oh, okay, who's Ishii gonna lose to this week? And that's largely what he does, unless it's a tag team match. They might have him win a tag team match, but he loses every single singles match. What's his singles record? I'll look this up.
Ishii?
Yeah.
In AEW, it was like 2-12 or some shit like that.
It's got to be. I don't know if he's won 2. Are you kidding me? That seems a little
low.
Yeah.
It seems a little high, I mean.
That seems a little high. Lost to Jericho, lost to Fletcher, lost to Hangman, lost to Swerve, lost to Roddy, lost to Orange Cassidy, lost to John Moxley, lost to Jericho, lost to Eddie Kingston, lost to Adam Cole. Yeah, he's lost literally every single AEW singles match he's had.
He sucks.
If you want to count Wrestle Dynasty as well, he lost to Takeshita. So he's technically 0-10. Again, if you want to count the Takeshita match, he's 0-11 in singles matches in AEW. So yeah, every time they put him out there in a singles match in AEW, he's like, well, he's just gonna lose, but he rules.
See, this is why nobody takes him seriously. He sucks.
I look forward to how many of those matches should he have won? He should have beat Roderick Strong. Like, come on now. He could have beaten Roderick Strong. He honestly should have beat Jericho both times for the ROH world title. Like, why not?
He should beat Moxley. Just come in and have him beat Mox.
I mean,
tell me I'm wrong, kids.
This was 2023. He beat Mox.
True. I want Joel to meet Ishii in person, and someone rats him out for hating Ishii. See how that plays out. Well, first of all, I'm like a foot and a half taller than Tomohiro Ishii, so I don't know if that would go well for anybody.
So this isn't necessarily of like how many matches should he have won, like how many of these matches should he have won. This is my same argument with Harley Cameron. It's like, oh, should Harley Cameron win this match? Well, maybe not, but how about you just give her a win? You know, like just give. There's plenty of people on that roster. You're telling me Ishii couldn't have beaten, I don't know, who would just beat up one of the premier athletes on an episode of Collision? I'm sure he beat him on like ROH or something.
Gotta
like,
be Collision.
Yeah, like you're telling me Harley Cameron couldn't have picked up a victory over somebody on one of these episodes? Like they got so many people. Just toss them a win.
Yeah, here we go. Ishii should have gotten a random win on Rampage. Remember that show? That was we're giving you wins to have you lose a big match.
Yeah. Like
should have done that.
You got to give people wins at some point. So that way everyone's just not looking at them like, they're just giant loser. And the problem is like they do it too often in succession. This is one thing that WWE is kind of good at, of like they have people who are just gigantic losers. But they only wrestle like twice in 3 months. So even if they lose both those matches, you don't feel like they've lost a lot because they don't wrestle a lot. Where like Jimmy Uso loses all his fucking matches. When's the last guy? Not Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy. Jimmy just lost.
Jimmy, well, Jay, I mean, Jay also, he just won on Netflix debut, but like.
Yeah. Like Jimmy loses all the time. But they do a good enough job of like not having him lose literally every single week to you're like, Jimmy hasn't lost all that much, even though he has lost like literally back-to-back weeks now. But look, Jimmy's a problem. Jimmy loses all the time. He's a giant loser.
Hilarious. Just big loser. Tomohiro Ishii, big loser. Jimmy, big loser. Make a tag team. Ishii Uso. No, that sounds wrong. No. Tenruz said also AEW should have done a show in Mexico. The sense of urgency to do different things and go elsewhere has gone. TK needs a fire back. Rick Ross, K. Dot. Oh, could you imagine?
They should bring Ricky Ross back. Are you kidding me? That would rule.
It's true. It was good. It brought a lot of eyes to the product that was like a good laugh. And I don't mean laughing at something. They laughed with it. They had moments with it. They could bring it back. Again, like I'm bearded white man number 8,586. Like I'm the last guy to say it, but like, yeah, they should absolutely do shit like this. It's not in my wheelhouse, but I watched a lot of people enjoy it and I enjoyed it with them. Do something different. That isn't 80s pop music for Cialis.
So, is that 80s pop music for Cialis?
I mean, everything is when you think about it. Okay. By the way, for anyone who was like, are we just ignoring the Wrestle Votes report about Mexico? That was fake. So we're just going to...
I don't remember it. So.
That was a fake December 24th, like at 2 a.m. type of post. It wasn't real. That was also not a WrestleVote. That was the fake WrestleVotes. That was the parody accounts, which isn't even a parody. I'm not even going to call it parody. They're fake. So let's just remember that. Just because someone in the chat had mentioned it. We're just going to ignore the WrestleVote. There was no WrestleVotes report. Tenruz is saying Alter Bridge Copeland live at All In would be great. Yes, in theory. And then go back to Revolution 2021. Cody had Downstate do his theme. Was that Revolution 2020 or 2020? It was 2020 because it's pre-pandemic. Go watch that intro. Watch how it was mic'd. Watch how it was mixed. And then you'll be like, never bring a band back to live AEW or any wrestling because no one ever does it right. So like great idea in theory, in practice, until somebody in wrestling knows how to mix a band, don't do it.
They should bring back those dudes that everyone hated and the Young Bucks super kicked. Bring back those guys.
Who was that?
Oh, it was the dude in the weird mask and everything. It was for Anarchy in the Arena, I'm pretty sure. Everyone's like, who the hell are these guys? Somebody in the chat will remember.
Oh, the Moxley live band.
Is that who it was? Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny though. That was hilarious because it was so bad. That was camp. Camp is fine. Camp is fine.
I don't think it was supposed to be camp.
I don't think so either, but it makes it great.
Turned into it.
Oh, it turned into it, and that's what worked. Oh man. Yeah, dude, if you're gonna bring Ultra Bridge, you gotta let their sound engineer do the thing.
Nah, I don't want anything to do with anything cope wise. Don't want any of it.
So 2 more things, and then we can get out of here. We're going to preview Raw. The Bryce is dumb in the main event of Collision. I know a lot of people drew attention to that.
No.
Commentary, they're trying so poorly to explain why the title belt and why Bryce was knocked out. I was like, bless, you're trying, but it's just not working, man.
I thought they did okay with it. Like commentary, it didn't look good. It didn't come off well. But, Jericho like tries to grab for the title and he doesn't hold the title as Dax comes with the headbutt. So they try to explain, he poked him in the eye as he came down. It's like, okay. It just didn't come off well. Like, I thought commentary did the best they could. Like, that's the commentary did what they could with what they were working with there. That's all I can say. They did what they could with what they were working with. They didn't have a whole lot to work with. And the conclusion of that match.
Yeah, no, it's exactly it. I was just like, oh, you poor souls, you're trying so hard. And the last thing, this is actually again some praise. I do appreciate when an episode of a wrestling program has some sort of through line. I do, because at least that way it ties the episode together well. I like that they open up with oh my God, what was the opening contest? It was the coat match, right? They opened up with the coat match. I like that they went through all of that. And then, yes, they did have the schmaz with the, everyone's beating down everyone, but like it all played out throughout the night. They're doing the Commander match against Pac. And then after, Commander taps out. And of course you got to beat another ROH champion because that's just what you do. Then you have the other Death Riders come out because they're going to have a tag match. Like, I like it when things like that flow. So I do give marks to AEW for stuff like that. When it flows, it kind of helps with just the performance of the show. So I appreciate when that attention to detail is there. But starting to think that Athena really was the smartest person in Ring of Honor by just not appearing in AEW. She could be like, oh, I want to appear, but she knows what'll happen if she shows up. She's going to lose. She's going to lose all the time because you just cannot win if you're a champion in AEW with a Ring of Honor belt, unless you're Chris Jericho. Doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know why people were mad about the main event. The ROH champion got a big victory. Like, oh, how are you beating your television champion? Well, the world champion got a win. It's all good. It's all good.
That's all you need. That's all you need. All right, I gotta, because I like him so much. Ken Bruno sent us the updated the updated thumbnail for today.
Oh boy, I don't even know what it would be.
It's actually a match announcement. I feel like we should be paying Sean $20 on Cameo for this. There it is. It's a fight without honor. It's myself versus. Why is she so tall in this one?
Okay, I'm here. I think
you're still here. Am I?
Yeah. You're fine. It was mine. Like we hit that 2-hour mark, and
oh, hell breaks loose.
Dude, Ishii would fuck you up.
I'm the same. Oh man, y'all don't understand. I could do it. I got him.
You would get destroyed.
Good question. Why do I have 2 microphones? This is from the 2023 Elimination Chamber Media Day when I was setting up. And for some reason, I think it was Tim, decided to take a photo of me like this. And so I posed. And for some reason, that became my background on Twitter. That's the answer to 2 mics. I only do interviews with 2 microphones now when I can, because I hate the whole like point the microphone. I want them to have a microphone. It makes it better.
Nas only needs 1 mic, but Joel needs 2.
Yeah, you got to move down the Ishii PNG.
He would destroy you.
I would destroy him. Dead to me.
Don't feel like that would be the case.
2 mics, 1 Joel. Awful. You people are gross.
Terrible. That's terrible.
Hey man, the taller people never get wrecked. That's how it works. That's how wrestling works. The taller. That's how Big Show wins the Royal Rumble.
You don't even have like a good reach advantage on him or anything.
I really don't. I mean,
theoretically, you could like kind of keep him at bay and jab him a little bit, but like you don't even have that. Yeah, that's what I do to the kids. Just do that. They try to come at me and just push them with my hand and then I kick them.
Oh no, Ken's he fixed it, so I gotta let's get this going here. I just have to save the image, if you will. This is he did fix it. Thank you. I do appreciate it when our pals.
It should be eating, Joel. That's what it should be.
There it is. Thank you. That's more accurate. Oh God, these Photoshop jobs are great.
I can't rules.
Thank you, Ken. This is our show. This is always our show. For if you've just found us for the first time, by the way, you're welcome, and I'm sorry. Let's do the Raw preview, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
We have let's start with this. Gunther will appear. CM Punk will appear. Rhea Ripley will appear. Are we done? That's it. Those are the appearances.
Yeah, I gave them their own separate little thing just to pop myself. I was like, instead of one thing of these people are appearing, I'm just gonna break it down into 3 different bullet points.
It'll be perfect. They are the best. My computer is now done with me. I'm trying to reply to things.
Just reply and say it with your words, Joel.
No, because this was about Ken being like, they're not great. You don't have to lie.
No, they rule.
I'm not lying. They rule. They do rule. They're funny as. They're good stuff. Thank you.
You can say that out loud. You don't have to reply in the chat.
No, because he can't see it. Anyway, it's not important. Street fight, Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Speaking of things that are not important, that's a match.
They should like actually just play Street Fighter instead of doing a street fight. I'd be way more interested in. I got no interest in another Priest and Balor match. I don't even feel like it's happened that often. But they've literally been feuding since SummerSlam. Like, since SummerSlam, when Balor turned on Priest, they have been together. And it feels like they've wrestled 500 times. They've probably had, like, one singles match. They had the match win Survivor Series, right? Didn't they wrestle? I don't know, Gunther faced Priest.
That was Priest.
Bad Blood. Bad Blood.
Yeah.
They've had one singles match. It feels like they've had 500 matches, and I've got no interest in now a street fight. It'll probably be good. Like they'll do some, over the top brawl and stuff. It'll be cool. I'd much rather just watch them play like a best of 5 Street Fighter series.
This is their first singles match. Sorry, their second singles match since they turned.
Yeah, Bad Blood. They wrestled at Bad Blood.
Yeah. No, I'm just looking before that.
They haven't. Like I'm looking at
a whole bunch in 2022.
Well, who cares about 2022? That's 20 years ago in wrestling.
Well, it's 3 years ago. You son of a bitch.
So they had a tag team match in September. They had a singles match at Bad Blood. They were in the 3-way, and then they did the 6-man in December. They've literally only had 4 matches against each other since the turn in August. That's not a lot. Honestly, that's 4 matches since August. It just feels like they've wrestled 100 times, which is probably worse than the fact that they've only had 4 matches.
There's just been a lot of talking. That's all it is. It's just because they do a lot of talking and it just doesn't lead to anything.
Just play Street Fighter. Much better.
That's true. I'm surprised it's not a steel cage match to keep the rest of Judgment Day out, but I guess they want to have Rhea Ripley appear to help Damian Priest.
Yeah, they're just, it'll be fine. It'll be a fun little match. Balor will bump around. Priest will do some cool stuff. Judgment Day will get involved. Rhea will get involved. And it'll be I don't need Rhea and Liv more of that, though. That's the thing. I really don't need Rhea even involved in this at all. Just end this. Play Street Fighter.
Problem is, Balor's gonna win, and then they're gonna do a third match on Saturday night's main event just to finish it up.
Don't put that out there. Don't do that to me.
You just know it's gonna happen.
Why would you do that though?
Because they're gonna be in San Antonio, Texas, and Damian Priest will speak a little Spanish, and everyone will get excited about it in Texas.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, because our next match, Chad Gable takes on a mystery luchador. I don't know if that mystery luchador, I don't know who it could be. I don't know, but I have a feeling. I don't know why. They're in San Jose tonight. I don't know. Maybe how far is San Francisco from San Jose? Maybe George Kittle, big wrestling fan, will be in the front row just for that particular match for no reason whatsoever for Chad Gable and this mystery luchador.
I hope it's
Dragon
Vanilla Bebe.
Newest WWE ID prospect.
Oh, that's how it is. It's Blake Christian in a mask. That would rule. Absolutely rule. Do you think like I don't think they're gonna do this, but do you think they do like some type of like tease?
Like a fake out?
Yeah. Like they still deliver on Penta. I'm not saying don't do Penta. At this point you have to. But do you think they have like some random luchador just come out and Gable beats him easily, and then Gable's like, that's it. That's the best luchador you have to offer. I need someone, I was expecting better competition than this. And then it's Penta. You think they do that whole deal?
I think it's more likely Rey Mysterio comes out. Gable says, I can beat you, or I've beat you. But has he beaten Rey Mysterio before? He must have. You're checking this too on Cage Match?
Yeah, I'll check it. I don't feel like they've wrestled. Like
at this point, everyone's wrestled.
They should. Like, that's a cool match. I'd be all for that.
Yeah. Mysterio defeated Chad Gable in 2022.
Again, that doesn't count. 2022.
Great time for wrestling. They've had one match against each other. But the point is, like, Rey Mysterio comes out and he's like, "Oh yeah, I can beat you. I'll beat the best luchador ever." And then Rey is the one to introduce Penta. But again, like, some of the reporting, or the belief, not the reporting, some of the belief was that they were going to get Penta away from all the other luchadors who are all in one stable together. But like, you have to use Rey at one point for a rub. It's got to go in somewhere. Maybe, I could just see Penta showing up on his own. Cero Miedo has the match. Maybe it's a schmaz finish. Because American Made gets involved.
No.
And then the rest of the LW will come out, and that's what sets it up.
They're doing
a 6-man.
They're doing the Taz debut. That's what this whole thing has been, Joel.
Penta shows up and beats him in 13 seconds.
Yeah, they're doing the Taz debut. I know Gable's not on this giant win streak like Kurt Angle was, but that's what it is. They've been running the vignettes for a few weeks now, and everyone knew it was Taz. And now they're going to deliver on it, and he's going to win probably in relatively short order. That's what I've gotten out of this, is they're just basically redoing the Taz debut.
I have a problem believing that, because his name is Penta. He's not Penta Jones over here. You get it? Because Taz calls everyone something Jones. So it'd be Pentagon Jones over here. He's wearing the mask.
Exactly. No pop.
I hope Chad Gable wins at this point. just for this. Sheamus takes on Ludwig Kaiser. This will be a banger, as the children say.
Yeah.
If the children are 48 and giant white men with red hair.
That'd be good.
Is Sheamus 48? How old is he? Sheamus WWE age. He's 46. I actually wasn't too far off.
Aged him. Look at this.
Look at him. And the Women's Intercontinental Championship final is up. Dakota Kai takes on Lyra Valkyria. Of course, that the Credit Man himself will be in the ring to present that new WWE Intercontinental Championship at the end of the night.
Doesn't want to be. Can't believe they're going to force him to be in the ring.
Lyra's going to win the title, and she's going to be like, I know I shouldn't do this, but play Triple H's music, play Paul's music. Come on, Paul, come on. I want you to put the title around my waist. I don't know why she's British, but she is now. And that'll be that. Triple H will be like, oh, son of a bitch. And he'll come walking out. Show's going to be 4 hours long just because of that.
I think Dakota's going to win this title.
Really?
Yeah.
Based on?
me picking her. I don't know.
Sometimes
What's
there's a story involved. You just told me why, Penta Jones over here is going to win.
I just think Dakota is going to win. That's all.
It's going to be Triple H, I swear. Joel, can you do an Irish accent? I can. Will I? No, not for free.
I don't think we're getting Becky tonight. I don't think we're getting Becky tonight. They're already doing Penta's debut. They're doing a new Women's Intercontinental Champion. But maybe Rhea, that's how you bring back Becky is Rhea comes out and is like, all right, I've moved on from the Judgment Day. Here comes big time. Or hashtag bow down. The Queen is back tonight. That would
Where are they in the coming weeks? Let's find out.
Who cares?
Tonight they are in San Jose. They're in Dallas. I love it. The second episode of Raw on Netflix, the third episode of Raw on Netflix, and then it's just Monday Night Raw in Atlanta, Georgia. That's hilarious to me. I wouldn't be surprised if Becky returned on the 20th, or maybe on Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
Because third episode of not Raw on Netflix. It's Texas. She can just come out and do a thing.
You know what they should do, Joel, for Saturday night's main event?
What's that?
They should have Rhea Ripley against Liv Morgan because we need that match again. And they actually do the last woman standing match this time. Okay. They do the last woman standing match. And Rhea Ripley is the last woman standing. And she holds the title over her head and her theme. This is my brutality. It plays and everything. And then the show goes off the air. But tune into social media because Becky Lynch's return is a digital exclusive for everybody. Because the fans watching live do not deserve it.
That's right. The fans watching live are the ones who deserve it in the arena. The people who are watching at home, garbage human beings. They don't deserve it. That's the Raw preview. Is there anything else that we need to bring up?
Peacock has spoiled the Saturday night's main event dates.
Good for them. New Japan also released their whole year of dates. I told you that was coming.
Okay. I don't remember you saying that, but I'll take your word for it.
I said every year they always give you the list of dates to keep an eye out for.
Sure.
Were there any important Peacock dates?
Yeah. They're running the same day as All In.
Yeah, let's go.
They're also running Memorial Day weekend, which has always been AEW Double or Nothing weekend. They're running on a Saturday. Double or Nothing's typically on a Sunday. But yeah, they got Saturday night's main event listed for the same day as All In.
They should run the same venue too.
They're running Texas in January, so
let's go.
I will say this. I don't know if those dates are officially confirmed. This is what Peacock has listed on their schedule. I'm not saying they're wrong. They could very well be right. But they did not list the January Saturday night's main event. And they did not list Elimination Chamber. WWE has already confirmed those dates. So why they wouldn't be on the Peacock schedule when WWE has confirmed those dates, but two shows that WWE has not announced are on the Peacock schedule is a little curious to me. So it could very well, those could be the dates. WWE could be announcing those dates here in the next couple of weeks. I'm just proceeding with a little bit of caution that these are the actual dates because they're on the Peacock schedule, which does not have official WWE dates that have been announced on their schedule.
Peacock salty. Let's go. This is what it is. Peacock is just going to be salty about WWE. They're gonna spoil everything on their way out. Who knows? Shout out to my wife. She brought me a s'more cookie.
Oh, nice. That looks good.
Yeah. The green plate is my son's. I don't know why I got it in one of these, but I'll eat it.
A thief.
Yeah. Well, kids at school. It's fine.
Eve. Oh, I hope Evil should come in and win the AEW World Title. Get this shit back on track.
Hey, you know what? They're close to doing House of Cope. You saw him.
Death Rider's wishes they got the heat that Evil gets.
That's true. It'd be very fun.
Jon Moxley wishes he got the heat that the EVIL gets. Wishes he got it.
I hope he debuts at Forbidden Door. Whose side is he on? And then everyone's like, I don't give a shit. It's Evil.
Everyone just runs for their lives because they know that when Evil's around, shit's about to go down.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't run from people like Jon Moxley. He's not running like that coward Jon Moxley.
This is it.
People run.
Evil shows up in AEW with a grifter podcast gimmick. They call me Evil Bischoff. It's time for 87 weeks.
Why is it 87 weeks? How many weeks did AEW beat NXT in the Wednesday Night Wars? That was less than 87.
But the thing is, it went back and forth a few times.
Nah.
How many weeks in a row did AEW beat NXT? Oh, this is awful.
Yeah,
no one has this.
I think okay. So the overall score was 63 for Dynamite, 10 for NXT. That was the overall rating.
Hey! It's Evil Bischoff, and you're listening to 86 weeks. 66.
No, you got to do Conrad there. So in the demo, so there were 75 weeks they went head to head. So 74 in the demo, Dynamite won. NXT only won that one. I think that was when Ripley won the title and everything. So, and that was very early in the run. So we'll just call it 74 weeks because they won 74 weeks in the demo. Let's call it 74 weeks. 74 demo wins. What do we call it that?
The D wins. This is Evil, and you're listening to D wins.
Why does Evil have Conrad's voice?
Why wouldn't he?
What is that?
Why would he not have that voice?
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to 74 demo wins with the man who put NXT off of Wednesday nights, Evil.
Got to do something with the gimmick. Let's go. Anything else to plug? Let's go home.
Nah, shout out to Conrad. He's a good dude.
Yeah. He'll be back with All In Texas or Starcast Texas.
Hell yeah.
It'll be fun. All right, so let's get on out of here. We're back on Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern. If you haven't already, leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate everyone who hangs out in the chat with us. We have great conversations like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 a.m. Eastern until God knows when. Today we went long because we love you people and because it's always easy to get a good laugh out of something stupid. So for Jeremy Lambert, I'm at Joel Pearl, JOELPEARL, the Joel Pearl over on the Blue Sky. That's where I live. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary.
There?
Yeah, it's cheap rent.
Mm-hmm.
I really highly recommend the cheap rent.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.